Oh, perfect timing. Sirens on my end. Literally click the stream button.
Incredible.
Sirens, like as if on cue. Gentlemen, what do you
Pyramid
think?
Head is coming for you.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited that Pyramid Head's coming for me. I was playing Silent Hill Origins on PSP. No sign of Pyramid Head yet. I hope he's coming for me. Should we cue the cat?
Make it so.
Right.
Because I want to say what's up to Alejandro Inc. and then Jen Eric, who says, I wonder how AJ will react to this thumbnail. I like this thumbnail, Brian. I like it.
Good.
I don't know why you covered up the name of the show because now nobody knows what they're watching.
I never know.
But there's
what I'm
lots of cool looking games that illustrates how cool this month is going to be. I also want to say hello to Go Away, who says Pogs. So many people talking about Pogs. Are Pogs back? Are those a thing again?
Hold on. I didn't cue the cat. I cued us. Hey, guys. How's it going? Hold on. And
hey, what's up? We're not supposed to be here.
I think I was picking my nose.
I was just about to say, yeah.
You saw nothing.
I was picking my nose big time.
Why this YT? Fred Wheatfield 2. Where's Fred Wheatfield 1? What have you done with Fred Wheatfield 1? Typical. Maston Kid. Woody the Bluebird. Wolfentior Robinson.
Okay.
Sounds like royalty. Cobble Corner, Professor Lilith, Jason Ewing, Hibsy the Game Cat, our new scooper, Dennis Manguso. Zombie Cakes, hello, Darth Vader's in the chat. Ash454, Ruby, the villain Nemesis. Okay, Delirium Drew VR, Secrets of Marcus Orr, Wink Rogers at Game Cat, Nicolad, the Game Cat, Kid Crazy Cloud Man, Sinner 669, the Unholy Game Cat, Austin, Seymour. Wow. All right. Decepticon. Oh yeah. Brody the Game Cat, trusty mods in the house. Shout out to all the mods, especially Guyson, Fist bump to you. Gamer Chick 13, hello. We've got some news that you might be interested in hearing.
She's totally unaware. Brad,
she's
no idea.
This is not her department.
She comes to without parole for all of her Saints and Sinners news.
Hailing from Germany, Triangulator, Carlos Varela, Sasha Quirin, Passy 906, Game Cat, LJ, Ace Gaming, Joshua Taylor. What is up? Just incredible.
That's everyone. That's everybody.
Oh, that's it. We got him.
Every single one.
Excellent, because this is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. We bring it to you live right now. But like, if you're here, you're probably watching it at the same time it's happening. Although, in all likelihood, you're watching it way later. So all of this is irrelevant. My name's Brian Paul. Sirens on my end from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And the guys to my right, the boys, Dave from Dave Station VR.
Hey, welcome to everybody in the chat, except for Wolfantier Robinson, who says, I'm only here to find out who the gift card winner is, to be honest.
Well, now we're crossing him off the list. Crossing him off the list. Any gold diggers out there, man, we're crossing you off the list.
Well, now we're going to announce it in the third hour of the show. Deep into the show.
Everyone can blame him.
Yeah, everyone blame Wolfantier.
And on the far right hand side of the screen, AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
What's up, Brian? It sounds like there's a lot going on in your area, man. Everything okay over there?
Yeah, people dying, people getting shot, buildings burning down. You know, typical Worcester shit.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
So yeah, nothing's really happening.
I almost got shot. Some dude, when I was there, some dude was riding by on a bicycle, and I think I looked at him maybe a little too long, and as he got really close to me, his hand went into his pocket, and I was like, uh-oh. But then I was like, I just looked the other way, and I was like, no, I'm just.
What? No, hold on. When you told me that story, you said you saw like the outline of a gun in his pocket. Or something.
He
was, like fidgeting around with something.
That was probably told better because it was fresh in my memory.
It just happened to you, AJ and I stayed in the same hotel for the meetup, so he came back and we were having a smoke, and I was like, what the fuck? Some guy pulled a gun on you. Not all the way.
The story gets very interesting as it mutates. Worcester's bad. It's not that bad. I mean, I don't think I've ever
Kelly
seen anyone...
Square is the worst death trap I've ever seen in my life.
But it's not a bunch of people on bikes pulling guns on people.
It's like something you'd see in a Mad Max movie.
All right. Yeah, actually, and it's totally different now. It's like they've you guys were here when there was construction happening, and there's still construction happening because no one can do anything with any kind of speed around here. But yeah, they've made it into one giant rotary, So instead of just like 8 roads intersecting and everyone just goes whenever they feel like it, literally it's just like a fucking mess now. It's just like cars riding around in a circle, not knowing where to go. It's insanity. It's not even a circle.
Did they think they're Europe or something? People in Europe know how to
Roundabouts.
deal with that because they're used to it. Yeah. And like, there's not lanes in a bunch of roads. They're just like, here's the road, figure it out. Yeah. People are fine with that. We wouldn't be able to deal with that. And Kelly Square, I think, is a perfect example of like, you got to give Americans some structure when it comes to this is the intersection. There's one road and it goes like this. And that's it.
Yeah, and there's a light that turns green and that's your signal to go. Like, otherwise, don't go.
Well, guys, I think we've given enough time for people to jump in. Look at all them pouring in.
Oh, that's what we were waiting for?
I thought we were allowed to just talk.
Everything is a plan. Everything is planned. No, this is all scripted.
All right, well, let's get a little housekeeping out of the way so I can prove to you guys how nothing around here is planned. Because as you saw at the beginning of the show, no one should let me be in control of anything ever. It's like, that's when I have to cue the cat. Hey, guys. It's like, what is happening behind the scenes? I'll tell you what's happening behind the scenes. Nothing but pure fucking chaos. That's how things operate here. And we love every second of it, and we love all of you. But that also means that when you give me the keys to the kingdom, I screw things up. I accidentally kicked a bunch of people out of Discord today. Hundreds. I clicked one button that was like, oh, this seems like a good idea. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, that was a horrible idea. So like, I'm trying to like learn Discord, like how to like be like learn things on the operational side of things, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So if you accidentally get kicked out of Discord, click the link in the description and join our Discord.
Here's what I think.
There's no one there anymore.
We should have a new rule for the Discord, and that's that you aren't allowed to make big changes like that. We let Rhodey do it, because Rhodey knows what Discord does, and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have any control over there.
Don't. With great power comes great responsibility.
We need to strip you of your
strip me of everything, man. You can have the Game Cat shirt. You can have it all. I'm just gonna walk around naked, take my punishment because I deserve it. What other housekeeping do we need to take care of?
Let's see. Join the Discord again. You got kicked out. Yada yada yada. Follow AJ's Twitter account for all the freshest news in the village.
In the village, I knew that was coming.
Wow.
Fresher than Paul's. That's all I can say. Yeah. And then let's see what else do we have to say.
Make sure you go subscribe to Dave at Dave Station VR. Make sure you subscribe to AJ at PSVR Underground. Both of them are rocking awesome channels over there. Obviously you want to come to Without Parole first, but as a close second, I think Dave and AJ, they get the job.
We're doing it. We're not bad. You're not bad. I will say, last week's movie night was great. Everybody was awesome. It went really well. Probably the best one we've had so far.
Agreed.
We do these Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern in the Discord. So if you're not signed up yet and you want to hang out with us and watch a movie this weekend, come through and we will be there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. With all that out of the way, I think we should begin the show the way we begin every show with a little game of should we or should when we would put 60 seconds up on the clock up on the counter, the way that Jeremy likes it. It's our time down here. Tell you out there, the loyal game cats, whether you should or shouldn't be watching and or doing and or playing the things that we've been watching and or doing and or playing. I don't think that's how I usually say it. Who wants to go? All right, who wants to go first?
I can go first. Okay. I got one ready.
On your mark, get Des, go.
All right. So coming out tomorrow, but I bought it early from Australia because I do that all the time, is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 package. And it's both of those first games totally remade. And it looks great. It plays great. It feels just like the classics. You can play with the D-pad. I've been playing with the D-pad, which is amazing. Like crazy for a game in 2020. But yeah, it works really well. And also, the thing that I'm really excited about that I haven't had a chance to check out yet is, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 had a course editor mode. You could make your own courses. So my friend and I would always take turns. Like, we would do this with Tenchu too also. I'd leave the room for half an hour. He'd make a stage. I'd come back and play it. You know what I mean? We'd take turns doing that. So this one has online functionality. So people all over the world are making skate parks, and you can make your own and upload them. And they have ones created by the developers up there too. So it's a really cool package. It's awesome. Have fun. It's great.
So here I am, growing older all the time. Not growing older all the time. Feeling younger in my mind.
Okay, so I also want to say real quick as an addendum to my 60-second thing. it's got a bunch of the music from the original game too. It's got Power Man 5000. I heard some Dead Kennedys in there and shit.
Real,
and I was like,
but they're willing to let you know.
When I heard Power Man 5000, I was like, I am back in my childhood again. This is perfect. I love it. But there's also some newer stuff, some good hip hop in there, and also some classic hip hop. It's a good soundtrack from what I could tell. Darth Vader says, "What about pinball?" My second should we is pinball. Pinball's great. Just play pinball.
AJ, would you care to go next?
Cobble Corner says, "Is Getting Dreams worth it?" Absolutely, Getting Dreams is worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's actually it's on sale right now for $29.99. We're gonna go through the sale later, but I'll go ahead and tell you, yes, it's worth it.
Yeah, we talked extensively about Dreams. Yeah. I mean, obsessed over Dreams for quite a while now. So yeah, 100%. Worth it at full price. Absolutely worth it at sale price.
You should have did Dream Borders for your should we, shouldn't we, Dave?
I've already played it a bunch of times. Don't tell me to use my should we on your game.
He's got the platinum in it.
Not allowed to tell me to use it on your game.
Brian, why don't you go next? You want to go next or you want me to go?
I mean, I can go next.
Is it worth it?
I mean, you're part of the segment too. You know that, right?
I mean, I've been told, but it's again,
I know we're keeping you on a tight leash, but I am giving you permission to do your own should we, shouldn't we right now.
All right. I was kind of debating, and the reason I didn't want to go next was I was debating on what to talk about. I've got a few different things up my sleeve, but you know what? Let's just do this on my mark. Get Des go. So a couple things. I've been playing a lot of PSP games recently. I've been somehow re-addicted to that thing, and I realized that I've only played the beginning of Silent Hill Origins. So I was going through, and I made a ton of progress. I was getting to basically the end of the first area, the hospital, and like this weird cutscene happened, didn't really tell me I had control again. This thing came and killed me, and I was like, well, that sucks. It was dumb. And then I realized I hadn't saved since like the beginning of the game, and I was like, well, that's kind of the end of that. There's no autosave in these old games.
Oh god.
So I put that aside and decided to watch horror movies for the rest of the night. And I'll tell you right now that I watched a ton of awful movies on Amazon Prime, and man, there are some that are like halfway decent and some that are not so decent. But I think the one I enjoyed the most was called Z, and it's about this kid who has an imaginary friend. We've heard this story 1,000 times. Oh, the imaginary friend might be real. Weird things are happening. The first half of that movie is great. The last half, not so good.
Is the imaginary friend a zombie?
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to say.
It's called Z. It's called Z.
Okay, well, just to put you in your place, Dave. Just to put you in your place, Dave. No, it's not a zombie. I will reveal the fact.
Good.
But the fact is that it's worth watching for the first half, and then the last half just goes. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. But still, not a bad setup, and I think it's still decent for anyone who looking for something new and free to watch.
Oh damn! Hold on. No comment here, but. The Wolf Craze with 20 bucks. I believe the Wolf Craze, I just played some Alvo with him the other night in the beta. He's also one of the commentators for the Firewall community streams. Him and one other guy, I think Amateur Hour Commentary is what they call it. Pretty sure that's him. What's up, Wolf?
Nice.
Thanks for the tip, man.
Really appreciate it. That means AJ's up.
He just paid for Bill and Ted 3.
Apparently. I'm ready to go, and Kid Crazy... Oh, let me get
on your mark. You gotta go.
So Kid Crazy also asked about what about Pistol Whip? Well, let me tell you, Pistol Whip is my shouldn't we today, and I would
you shouldn't and you shouldn't
we.
There's no good way of looking at this.
Yeah, I mean this game. Obviously, I love action movies. I love John Wick. I love Die Hard. I love The Fifth Element. I'm sure a lot of you do too. And I've just always loved action movies. And this game is a rhythm shooter that's based around being an action that takes a lot of inspiration. Presentation wise, it's not of like Blood and Truth, but gameplay wise, it is very, very satisfying in the way that you're quickly dodging and shooting. The dodging mechanics are fantastic. And I am proud to announce that I got the platinum trophy. I think it was last night. Or 2 nights ago, I got the platinum trophy in Pistol Whip, and it's a fantastic game, lots of fun. Absolute should we heartbreaker update coming soon.
And I want to say real quick, check this out. AJ tweeted about getting the platinum, and the creators of the game commented back with a John Wick thing, saying you're breathtaking. I know his name's not John Wick; his name's actually Tom Cruise, if you know anything. Jeez. But we got another tip, actually, from Kid Crazy, $5. Once again, no comment. You guys can leave comments if you want.
Maybe the comments are broken.
You totally alter the show.
Nice. Well, congratulations on the platinum, man. That is one that I was actually going for like soon after release, and I just lost interest. I was like,
pretty easy platinum, like a lot easier than I was expecting. You would think that would be like a super hard one, and yeah, it actually wasn't. It felt good, man. It felt good to get back on the platinum horse because I haven't gotten a platinum in a minute. And you've been doing these platinum streams every Saturday, and I'm like, damn, I miss going for platinums. Yeah. A lot of times I just get really close to getting a platinum, and I'll have like 1 or 2 left, and I'm like, I know what to expect for this one, and I just don't get it. Sometimes I enjoy the journey more than I do the reward. But this trophy is fucking awesome because it says you're breathtaking, and I love it.
It was almost like Rypop was there talking to you.
I know.
Yeah.
It's funny that you're inspired by watching Brian's platinum streams, because for me that's discouraging. I'm like, it took him 2 6-hour streams to platinum a game that he thought he was almost done platinuming. I'm not platinuming anything. Fuck this.
Yeah, like, or my like 8.5 hour Astrobot stream where I ended not getting the platinum because the last trophy got glitched. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what a fucking waste of time that was.
Talk about just live sleazy, die young, don't get platinums.
Yeah.
Save Station 2020.
Oh, that's the campaign trail. I like it. So but behind the scenes, I am actually working on the Beat Saber platinum. I've gotten quite a few things that I didn't think I'd get. I'm seconds away from getting that SS on Expert. So very excited. I might have to do a stream of that soon, just to get the last couple of trophies live with you guys, hanging out with the cats.
Real quick, I want to say from the chat, not to make you blush, Brian, but Patty N says, you shaved PSVR without Parole. Looks good. It's funny, right before the stream, AJ and I were both telling him, he looks much younger, I think, when he shaves the beard off. Me, I think I would look older if I got rid of the beard.
I still look really old, and just the beard, the more I cover my face, the better.
Yeah, right. If it could just grow all over here, that would be perfect.
So convenient.
Looking out.
When AJ was young, he actually got a face tattoo. He's like just been like, this is the only way I can cover it up really inexpensively. So, thank you very much. I appreciate that. My whole life, I always looked too young. And so when I started growing facial hair and stuff, I was like, oh, this is great. I kind of look older. And now that I'm old, I'm like, fucking let's shave it up. Let's take advantage of this shit. Right?
I'm just waiting for the salt and pepper to set in. I want that salt and pepper. And then I'm just going to have the beard forever.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. What are we doing here?
Let's start the show.
Oh, God. All right. With the way... Oh, fuck. Let's start the show.
Goddamn minutes. Except for Bell Ramio.
Shout out to Bell Ramio, the Game Cat, for the €10 donation. He says, no comment. It works, though. Now give me Operencia. So thank you for proving that the donation chat works. And thank you for the €10. And fingers crossed, Operencia. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Gamer Chick. She's there. She's like, she knows that the Astrobot stream was painful. I was in pain. You guys were in pain. We were all in pain together. It was awful. Guys, here's something I really kind of want to do before we get the show officially started. So, we'll get to the real show soon. We want to debut something for you guys. And what that is a new trailer that is going to be debuted on the official site at the very same time that we hit the play button. So shout out to Alex over at Sin Studios. We've got the new...
He's waiting to flip the switch until you flip the switch.
Yeah,
That's
really
cool.
I don't know. Hopefully. we talked about it, and then I got busy and stuff, and I was like, I really hope he's paying attention out there, because if he's not, then we get a 10-minute exclusive.
What Brian is trying to say, guys, is that we are debuting right now the brand new cinematic trailer for Swordsman VR. This game has a lot of anticipation behind it. We will talk about more of it later after this, once we get to the section of the show. But we would like to share this trailer with you right now.
Right meow. Let's do it. And here we go.
Roll Swordsman.
His mind fragments minds. His heart swallows light. A cancer to our world and to our people. You will find it in the eyes that wander. In the cold evening winds, his breath hums a bitter rage.
We haven't done the giveaway yet.
Only death is eternal.
Oh, is that it? Holy crap, that was fast. That was really fast. All right.
We back on.
Sweet.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
We are, and there's a timer running and everything. Also, see, I told who gives me the ability to do things around here? It's craziness.
Epicness, man. Epicness. I know that's just cinematic trailer. We usually prefer gameplay trailers, but clearly said, cinematic gameplay is next week. And yeah, but I like what they're going with here. We've already seen some gameplay, and we've seen a lot of other stuff. But yeah, this is definitely one of my more anticipated games. I really hope it turns out well. I'm excited.
Yeah, in that teaser, not only does it, it's obviously a cinematic teaser, so it's like it doesn't really give us, the stuff that we need to be like, oh my god, I'm so excited for this. But it actually has a little bit more than you might think it does hiding in there. In fact, let me just make sure it's playing in the bottom corner here while we talk about it real quick. At the very end of it, you will see the final boss along with the weapon that he wields, and upon beating him, you get to wield that weapon. So there's a little bit more in this trailer than meets the eye, I think. So
Yeah, and we will definitely get more into this later after the news.
Quick shout out.
More to talk about.
Tip.
That's for Joe Grover, the effing Game Cat, with the $20 donation. He says $20 to start the show, and no comment. Joe Grover, we hope you're doing well. Please update me on what's going on over in your neck of the woods. Last time we heard he was avoiding fires and stuff, and it's always nice to see his name when we know somebody's avoiding fires.
Yeah, stay safe out there, Joe.
So
All right, guys. So we have a lot of news to go through. We've got 12 different articles. We got some new releases. We're going to be covering everything that's coming out this month that we know about so far. We're going to do a deep dive on those. There's also a new sale that's happening, and then of course, we have a giveaway somewhere in the show coming up pretty soon. It won't be too long, don't worry. But
I just
haven't done it yet.
I want to simultaneously commend and reprimand Wargarble for all these bad swordsman VR puns that he's putting in the chat.
I'm listening.
It looked like that game could provide a fun night with a K. And he says, I definitely get the point of swordsman. And he really emphasized that one by spelling it in all caps. Wargarble.
Killing it.
All right.
Killing it.
Excellent.
All right. So, of course, as always, we're going to start with the PS5 news, and it is, of course, pretty quiet on the home front as of right now. However, that doesn't mean there isn't anything going on behind the scenes, because we know there are. Microsoft and PlayStation are still having this kind of standoff going on. Yeah, little boxing match, and
Is that how you
they're
box?
kind
I
of
have
waiting.
no idea.
No, you get knocked the hell out in like 5 seconds.
That's longer than I thought I would
maybe in
last.
like the 20s or 30s, maybe it would work.
Can I have my shorts pulled up to over my belly button then if we're doing the...
But
how did I do
there
that?
was
Off
basically
camera.
an article that was posted, and it says, this comes from Benji Sales on Twitter, who covers a lot of like the financial stuff, different things, various things. And there was a presentation about the latest Sony financial report, and it said one thing of significance, which we kind of already know, but it's good to be reassured. But it says, this is what PlayStation plans to do. It says, looking to acquire more studios to grow first-party / PlayStation studios, looking to bring more of their first-party games to the PC platform in the future, and large focus on increasing number of exclusive games and advanced VR.
Okay. Can we knock those out one by one?
Sure. The first one was looking to acquire more studios to grow first party and PlayStation studios. Yeah. I think as right now we know about Insomniac.
Right. I mean, yes. Sony already knows, and Sony already has more first party studios than like any other company, right?
I mean, Microsoft bought a bunch, but I don't think they have as many, and they haven't put out as much stuff recently that was like heavy hitter type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean they're already killing it on that front. So it's nice to know that they're not going to like rest on their laurels. That they want to be like, oh, you know what, this is actually really working for us really well. So let's keep doing what works and acquire more studios and keep getting those exclusives coming our way. The next one was bringing their games to PC though, right? And I think that's going to be
to bring more of the first party to PC.
That's going to that is going to be a little more divisive when it comes to Sony fans. I think, don't you think? Don't you think? Think.
Here's what I think.
What do you think, Dave?
What they'll continue to keep it exclusive for a while. Like Horizon Zero Dawn just got released on computers, right? And it was out years ago. Death Stranding was at least 6 months, I think, exclusivity to PS4. So as long as they keep it exclusive for a window, I'm totally fine with that. Let PC people play the stuff. Because at the end of the day, really, it's more money in Sony's pocket. If they own those studios, they're making money either way, regardless of what platform you sell it on. And like, I like the idea of them putting money into exclusive stuff, but then later making more cash off of it in the tail end of the game's life cycle. You know.
Well, I mean, it's so funny anytime I see a tweet from like a PC gamer, Master Race people being like, PlayStation 4 fanboys are like crying right now, because we got Horizon or we got Death Stranding or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that game. You can have it. It's like kind of our leftovers. It's like, and, this is going to make a ton of people happy and Sony a ton of money to keep bringing us more exclusives. And yeah, absolutely. But it's like, it's so silly when we, that like a year later, I'm like, we don't care anymore. I mean, I don't care anymore. I don't know. There's definitely some people out there who are like huge Horizon fans that are like, this sucks, man. This was like, my thing, and now I have to share it with the world. But I mean, from a business sense, it makes perfect sense.
Well, and there's also the part of me too that like, okay, Matthew, I know Sony didn't make Death Stranding, but it was exclusive for a while. Yeah, anyway,
Sony funded it.
Sony had something to do with that. Yeah. What was I going to say? On the other side of it too is like, even though I have a PS4, there are some games like that where honestly I might rebuy them on PC just to play them again with like a different setup. I mean, once PS5 drops, that's not going to happen. But say for Death Stranding, it's such a beautiful game that I actually wouldn't mind playing it on my new PC again because it looks so good. I'd buy it again just to like experience it in full, splendor as much as my computer can run. So I don't know. Real quick, Techno Gatsby was asking. We mentioned this at the beginning, but there was a Discord mishap. If you're having issues getting in, Brian accidentally deleted everybody's accounts. So...
It wasn't quite like that, but it was me being dumb. I don't know what I'm doing, and I hit the wrong button. A bunch of you guys got kicked out, and I apologize. You're all welcome to come back in. There's no one got banned. No one got blocked. So you just click the link in the description. Click the link in the description, and you'll be right back in. Sorry about that. I apologize.
So I think there's two things that come to mind for me. Number one, they have to keep some or at least a lot of exclusives. I think you have to keep exclusives for the most part. And then like every now and then have another one, especially like years later that can come out on the other platform. But if they do that, the only thing about these exclusives that jump over and get ported is they always seem to be like half-assed. Like I didn't hear great things about the Horizon PC port. I heard it had a lot of issues. So I mean, like it's like cool.
Really good.
Yeah, I think I did hear Death Stranding was fine, which was good to hear. But yeah, I just hope that if they do go through with this, that it's not just like I'm all for sharing games, but I don't want every single time a first party goes to another place to give the other people some shit version of it. Like I don't like that. I hope it's a good port to say the least. So.
I 100% agree. I don't want all of our exclusives going to other places. Like there are certain things that feel very PlayStation VR, very PlayStation centric, right. Like Astro Bot. It would just feel weird if PC gamers were playing that. And I'm not like, oh my god, you can't have Astro Bot. I'm just saying it doesn't feel right. It doesn't make sense to me. That just screams Sony.
There's some stuff that always has felt like, even like genre wise, like a console game. Like Mario 64 is not a computer game.
Right.
Spyro is not a computer game. These are console games. They have a certain feel and style, and there's something je ne sais quoi about console games, and it's a different thing. So I like the idea of them staying on consoles. But if a few of them leak out here and there, Horizon and Death Stranding and stuff, I'm totally cool with that.
We said this on viewer takeover earlier this week too, kind of a similar thing, which was basically like, yeah, we would love for some Oculus games to come to us. We would love some PlayStation games to go to them, but they have to be good ports. They can't be these half-ass things, and I think that's the important thing. The final portion of this, of course, the most important part, it says a large focus on increasing the number of exclusive games and advance VR.
Ooh, yeah.
This is the part I take the biggest issue with. I can't believe they said something that dumb.
So we've known that they are going to continue to support VR and stuff because they've talked about it. But it's always nice to see, especially financially. I'm very interested to see like how they expand in the VR realm, whether it be games or features. I'm actually working on a video right now that's gonna show like 5 things or whatever we want to see with like VR on PS5, and it's got a bunch of little different things that I think are cool. Nothing as straightforward as just like wireless or whatever, but some other features that I think would be really cool to be added.
Why don't you just spoil it right now so we don't have to watch your video?
I don't want it.
All right, number 5. What is it? Number 4. No, go. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, dude, we've known that Sony has been committed to the VR market for a long time now. Like it's just so obvious. They are, they're doing all the right things, but they're also keeping their cards really close to their chest. They're not talking about next gen VR yet, and I think that's got a lot of people scared. They're like people I consider very intelligent, whose opinions I've always agreed with. I see them sometimes saying some really ridiculous things. Like Sony hasn't said anything about VR, so it's like not happening, or don't expect them to continue supporting VR going forward because they haven't said anything. They haven't said anything about anything. Like they haven't even announced the price for the PlayStation 5. So does that mean it's not coming out? No, of course it's coming out. Does that mean it's going to be free? No, of course it's not going to be free. Like they have a plan, and it's and I'm sure it's ridiculous, and I probably don't agree with it because if I worked at Sony, I would do everything differently. Which is why I lose all the bets. I lose all the pizza bets. Hey, but
it's definitely an unprecedented time. So it's predicting what Sony's going to do right now is like insane. Like I could guess. I've been actually pretty close to being like pretty spot on, but it's like even when I was right about something,
fucking full of shit.
Even when one of those sources were right about something, it like the date changed at the last second. So I mean that's the thing. Even whatever they have set in stone, but yeah. I would love to see the different ways. I'll tell you one way I would love to see it expand. We've been seeing some of these features, and that is like a cinema. Like you have all these things where you can rent movies on the PlayStation Store. I've just started using this recently, like ever since Sonic came out, the movie, and I love this thing. Like it's like $3-4 you rent the movie, but to have to be able to have a cinema in VR, get your friends together, all rent the movie, get a room together, and watch these together. That's what I want. I know, I would love
about
something like that.
screen.
Yeah,
Exactly. Big screen, exactly.
Right, but I'm not completely confident that big screen's coming to us anymore.
Yeah.
I think it might. I mean, they had a business plan that involved almost tailoring the product to what Sony would accept in their marketplace. Because if they let you do it like PC, I could stream any copyrighted thing in the world, even a Sony movie like Spider-Man, and they don't want that.
Right.
So it's going to be around the system where like you can only stream certain things they decided, and you'll all have to pay for a ticket to rent a certain movie, and there'll be times you watch it and stuff. But it will still be really cool. I mean, if we get it, I think we will.
Yeah, I could see that being, it's getting pretty late in the generation right now. I could see that being certainly something they have ready for next gen, for a launch. But who knows, man? Who knows? They've surprised me before. Real quick, guys, I don't want to let this tip get too far away from us. Darth Vader with a $2.99 donation. Thank you very much, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Says, Onslaught seems very promising to me. It's very promising to all of us, I think. But we'll talk more about Onslaught later in the show.
Yes, we will. All right, so moving on. Resident Evil 7 has now been listed on PS Now, the streaming service.
Oh, yeah.
And while you can't... Brian, tell me a little bit about this.
Well, so Resident Evil 7, my friend, also known as the best PlayStation VR game out there.
Not according to our top 25 list.
Listen,
Suck it, Resident Evil 7.
Listen, I don't agree with our top 25 list now or ever in the past.
Well, you're the one who put Dreams ahead of RE7. I'll remind you.
You can remind me as much as you want, but I'm clarifying. Future Brian, I can look back at past Brian, the top 25 list, and what he said then. He was out of his mind, man. He was out of his mind. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know. He was like infatuated and like rolling all over the floor with dreams and stuff. No, Resident Evil 7, the best game on PlayStation VR. Period. Now, it's now available on PlayStation Now, PS Now, which is their streaming service. So I went over to the streaming service today. I signed up for the free trial, 7-day free trial, and there it was. Boom, Resident Evil 7 with all of its lovely DLC content there.
Oh, all the DLC is included?
I think so.
It's
I don't
the
know.
gold edition.
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Actually, yeah. No, I'm totally wrong because what happens is you show up on the store. You show up in game and it says, "Hey, you interested in this stuff?" And I was like, "Oh no, I've already played that stuff." So you're right. So it's the greatest hits edition, not the gold edition. That's what it says on the store. I apologize. But what happened?
Gold edition on sale for like $10 recently or something like that.
I think 20 maybe, and it was, which is insane.
Really good price.
It's
Either way, really
the
good
best deal on the face of the planet when you get that for $20. But so
Rob Yesko is in the chat and he says no invisible hours in that top 25 list.
I know that's a tough one.
Rob. Sorry,
that
Rob.
used to always be on the top 20 list.
What's even worse is when we were given the opportunity to add 9 more games to the top 25 list on Viewer Takeover. None of us did it. I blame myself and both of you.
I had it written down. I had it written. It was one of my 11.
I had 17 games written down. Invisible Hours wasn't one of them.
Games,
I'm sorry,
guys.
Rob.
There's so many good PSVR games. I've been playing. I have been literally day and night doing nothing but playing. Well, okay, I've done a couple of things, but I've been pretty much doing nothing but playing the last few games that have come out, and I've been so occupied. Like it's been amazing lately. There's just so many games, man.
Well, this is what I want to say. Speaking of that, this is kind of good segue. Rob, if you want your game in the top 25, you just got to release a game like more recently. Like come out with a game tomorrow, and it's probably going on that top 25. Invisible Hours, we've had our time with it. It fades away from our minds.
Just a note. But I just want to mention. Wait.
Yeah, Rob's right. He said, "I'll capture." Yeah, it's exactly what I said. You got to announce something new. Keep us excited, Rob. We already love your old stuff, but we want some new stuff. Farpoint
I will
2.
say
you could reveal Farpoint 2 right here in the chat if you want to. I would love it if you did that. Thank you.
I would like that too. I will say, Rob, if you still have any of your contacts over at Invisible Hours, get them to look into the Move controllers for Invisible Hours because the Move controllers kind of don't work.
And jetpacks. Jetpacks for the Invisible Hours.
We have 2 tips.
Jetpacks
All right,
would be great.
let's take care of the donations.
First one comes to us from K Panic, the artist, formerly known as GameCat, and he's got like some leet speak there. I like it. It's
formerly known as GameCat? Did you abandon us? Did you get mad when I accidentally kicked you out of Discord? Please come back. I'll give you hugs. I'm waiting. I'm going to give everybody hugs. I promise.
He's so mad he decided to give you $5. He says, "Hey peeps, how about some VR concerts? That would be great fun." They've done that in some other apps on PC, but not big screen, I don't think.
I would love to see what like 9 Inch Nails could do with a VR concert.
Yeah.
There's some bands that are like put on a great live show. Even like the Aussie Floyd or some of those Pink Floyd cover bands and stuff. Like they have like a really great set and stuff. And yeah, I would love to see some of those. Well,
do you guys remember that? It was this experience that was only in the Japanese store.
I didn't do it.
Based on some anime, but like the presentation of all these scenes was crazy.
I remember
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It had like a red icon. I can't remember the name of the game. But if they did concerts like that, where like people were popping up on screens and it was like flashing in and out around you and the whole world was changing, you could do some really cool audio visual stuff with VR to like amp up the concert experience to another level.
Yeah.
So they already do it with big screens and lights and all that sort of stuff, but putting you inside of it. Another tip, Brian, you want to take this one?
This one comes from Techno Gatsby with a $5 donation. Says, "Are there any sports/sporting experiences you would really like to see given quality VR treatments for the PlayStation 5? Is that important? Do we need them?"
Yes.
So like Madden.
Yes.
I think Madden like needs to be.
No, not Madden.
What?
Fuck Madden.
Dude,
Madden's screwed for the next 5 years. They
Nah,
signed their soul to the devil.
They're fine. They're great,
really?
and I think that for the mainstream market to accept VR, we need people that go buy Madden every single year and go, wait, I can be the guy and throw the ball in first person. Like, holy crap!
Truant Pixel.
Well,
Truant Pixel with 2MD VR football. I would love to see Truant make a full, real, simulated football game, or even just arcade style football game. Just call it an arcade game.
Brian, do you want to tell him?
No. I think we should run with this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think Truant Pixel would be a great choice to make the next Madden game.
Truant Pixel would be a great choice. I think.
Truant?
Yeah.
Yeah. But sorry. But real quick, actually, I want to say that a game like Madden, I don't think in its format currently or the way it's always been would work if you just transition it over to a first-person, I'm the guy throwing the ball kind of style. Because those games are very much about setting up plays, and there's a lot of like stuff that isn't just throwing the ball to a guy. And I don't know how you would implement that in VR with move controllers, but it would be really, really tough.
Get on it,
so
EA.
Figure it out. What I'd rather see is like just the game in VR, and I can look around the field, and I can look down the field, beyond where I would normally be able to see. And maybe there's a guy down there, I can pass to or something like that. And just to get that up close view of things happening, like with replays and stuff, to see them like right in front of you going down. I think third person would be totally fine for sports games because the amount of stuff you have to do as far as like menus and setting up plays and telling this guy to do that and you get in this position here, whatever.
It can be done.
Too much.
I promise you.
It's just too much, I think, to be fun and playable in a smooth and satisfying way. I think it'd be better in third person. That's all.
That aside, I think extreme sports are the better choice here. I think snowboarding and skateboarding.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. The things that even we saw AJ with his Cool Borders ripoff, which was actually better than Cool Borders because Cool Borders was hot trash.
Dismissive. That's so dismissive.
It's dismissive of Cool Borders. Cool Borders was terrible. We all know it. Snowboarding games weren't good till SSX fucking. Just go back, dude. We were all children. We were children playing PlayStation 1 going, this is great. I love snowboarding. And then the SSX came around and said, no, but this is what a good snowboarding game is. Anyway.
It just perfected it. It took a good formula and then it perfected it. Okay.
No, I played a lot of PlayStation 1 games. The Cool Borders were on the bottom of the quality list. I promise you.
That's just
right down there with Bloody Roar. Dude, Tony Hawk is so good.
He was too busy playing Too Extreme.
Oh God! See, those games were terrible. Too Extreme, and I think those were
pretty bad.
Extreme. Even I don't remember. Those were bad. But Tony Hawk, compare Tony Hawk to like Cool Borders, and I don't care when they came out. Come on.
I was about to say they didn't come out at the same.
They came out on the same platform. And
if it wasn't for Cool Borders, Tony Hawk wouldn't exist. Nor would SSX.
That's a big.
I don't think Activision or Neversoft gave a fuck about what Web Systems was doing.
Oh, Pong sucks. Pong sucks.
Pong's great compared to Cool Borders. Pong's brilliant.
Pac-Man is old and sucks, and nobody likes it.
Pac-Man's awesome too. Everyone loves Pac-Man.
Anyways, back to the topic. Yeah, there was a couple other. I would love. I'm totally with you. Extreme sports. Please, no Olympic sports VR games. Well, actually, maybe if they did like an archery thing, and I don't know. Olympic games are kind of sketchy.
Dude, I would play curling VR. Dude, curling VR would be fun. Like if they did it like a mini game style thing where you had all these little winter games. Let's do the winter games because you could have an actual good luge game. You could have bobsled. That'd be fun as hell. Doing a bobsled in VR, you're just like, you're gonna like nudge your head back and forth. Thrasher Skater died. Yes. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how much crap Sonic? Do you know how much crap was on the PlayStation Classic? Come on, man. Come on. You know how many great games weren't on that thing? That thing was fucking doomed from the start.
They didn't even have Einhander on there, did they?
No Einhander, no Urguys, no. Cool Deca,
was so good.
Galarians. I've got 100
Air guys.
That's what he just said.
He said Urguys. It's Air guys.
Is it Air guys?
I think it's actually like Ehrgeiz.
I speak German.
It might be.
I speak German, and so I'm going to say that. I'm right.
How do you guys even know what that is?
What do you mean, dude? Have you seen my? I've got like 300 PlayStation 1 games.
That's the game where you can fucking fight as like Sephiroth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cloud.
Yeah,
But the best part of that game, the best part of that game
is that it's not Cool Borders.
The best part of that game was the dungeon crawling.
Can I ask you guys real quick? Who remembers the bouncer?
Me, PlayStation 2 early launch, not launch game, but late by Square. It was by SquareSoft.
And it had one of those things where it was like the order, where it was like really good but really fucking short, and everyone was like, "What is this? I paid full price for this 2-hour game. What the hell?"
You're supposed to play it like 100 times to like level everyone up, and it was okay. That was supposed to have like all this like destructible environments, and you're supposed to be able to pick up every single item in all the environments and use them, and you couldn't do any of that when the game finally came out. Anyway,
it was still somehow impressive. I don't know why, but yeah, PS Classic should have much better stuff. We're way off topic here.
So Resident Evil 7 came to PlayStation Now, and I played it, and here's how that works.
That's what we were talking about.
Oh yeah, luckily the trailer's been running in the corner to remind me this entire time. Cool. So what's happening there is that of course, the first thing you do is you start it up with your PlayStation VR headset on, and you go, I wonder if I can stream a VR game to my headset. Is this going to work? And the answer is no, it does not work. There's a VR option still in the game. They didn't like rip it out, but when you try to turn it on, you know how PlayStation Now works. It's not running on your system. In the system it is running on that it's streaming from doesn't have a VR headset connected to it, so it doesn't understand that. Dave, you're muted. There we go.
Sorry. I was just agreeing with you loudly. That's unfortunate. That's fucking weird.
But you can download it.
You should download it. Yeah, yes. If you download it, doesn't work.
Yes. So I downloaded it just to try. I had to delete my own copy of the game off my hard drive, download the full game, and try it out. And yes, it is 100% playable in VR. So if you have PlayStation Now, which by the way is so much better than it used to be. I played Resistance 3 like on the flat screen, DualShock, and it like there's almost no lag. There's subtle amount, but it's good enough where like you could actually play a first-person shooter and not really worry about it too much. I was kind of surprised how good it is.
Yeah, I think the only issue that they have with PS Now is that they wait so long to put games onto it, and that's the only place Xbox has Sony beat. When they come out with an exclusive, you get it on Game Pass for free day one.
Yep.
And it's like when Netflix rolls out a new movie they made or a new series they made, they're like, everybody who's got Netflix, here's an exciting new thing. It's there right now. And that's kind of what you get with the Game Pass. Like, I don't even have an Xbox, but just for PC, I get a bunch of that, free stuff. And so I think Sony really needs to get into the mindset of let's give people something that they want right now instead of something they wanted 2 years ago. Because it's great if you haven't played these games. But I hope that most of you guys have played RE7 already at this point. If you have a PSVR.
If you haven't, you need to, for the love of God.
I hear it's the best game on PlayStation VR.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sorry, if you haven't played it, I'll say do this PS Now thing. Totally do this PS Now thing, because you'll get that game and other games for less than you would have paid to buy Resident Evil 7. If you're cool with not owning it, I would say it's a better deal to just do it this way.
Two things. Number one, I think I wouldn't be surprised. This is why competition is good. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony ups their game with PS Now for PS5. I would hope to see that. The second thing is this the first PSVR game or VR game to grace PlayStation Now?
So I meant to go through the library and explore and see if I could find any titles that had gotten like a flat screen patch, something like The Persistence or something like, something that's also playable in non-VR. But I didn't have time. It was like I literally was doing this right before GamesCast Live, and
I think maybe Tomb Raider might be on there. Let me check. I'm going to look
every game. Can you download every game that's on there?
No.
It's only some.
There's a distinction too between PS4 and PS3 games, because PS4 they can run natively on a PS4. You can download it to your PS4. PS3 games you have to play streaming because a PS4 can't actually run. It doesn't have the architecture. It doesn't have the architecture to run a PS3.
What's funny is it signed me into my PS3 for the first time ever when I did Resistance.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, right? You see your old PS3 account.
You've got messages. I was like, I do have messages. For, like my PlayStation 3 thinks I have thousands of new messages because it hasn't been turned on in a very long time.
You know, it's very curious to me. Hitman 2 is in PS Now. I wonder if you download it and you have PS Now, if you can import those Hitman 2 stages from your PS Now copy into Hitman 3.
That might be tricky because Resident Evil 7 does understand that there's a difference between the version you just downloaded and your former copy. Like, so when it knows that it's not the same game. It says, do you want to import your files? And I was like, yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so first of all, 100-Foot Robot Golf is included. That's the first title on the PS Now lineup.
Dash David Dash.
That has a VR mode.
You never pay for it.
Okay.
But if it's free, give it a shot.
If you have PS Now, definitely check it out.
A game that ought to be in VR is Abzu. I wish that game was in that.
That should be in VR. I 100% agree.
Adrift also was supposed to be in VR, but it's not, and that's on PS Now. Let's see. Are there any games that are actually in? AJ, they got Ape Escape 2 on here.
Yeah, actually, I almost played that instead of, because I love Ape Escape 2. I almost played that instead of Resistance 3. And I should have, because the cutscenes to Resistance 3 are forever long, and you can't skip the first one. Probably the first time you play, it's probably installing shit or whatever. I don't know.
I haven't played it since the day it came out.
Oh, there are a lot of good games on here. I mean, that are flat. A lot of good flat games.
Yeah, it's a great service. I don't have any interest in it, really, though, because I don't want to stream games. Period. I just don't want to stream games. That's not how I want to do things.
I think as they continue to add games that you can download, that'll be a cool thing. Because like with Xbox Game Pass, I download it. I don't stream it. Right. It's on my computer.
I'm just salty about backward compatibility. That's all.
Dude, they have Comics Zone on here. I like Comics.
Sonic CD.
So I think Comic Zone is so overrated.
You're such an asshole.
I'd rather play Comic Zone.
I think it's a cool. Goddamn it, Brian.
You're so wrong, dude.
I think the art style and stuff and the style of everything, but as a game, as a playable, functional game, I don't think it's that great.
It's so
Kid Crazy.
No
Kid Crazy has a $5 donation.
Hey, Kid Crazy, thank you for the donation.
Do y'all think they should have added more updates to Sirento VR? Could have been way better.
Actually, what I was going to say earlier is that I wish the Sirento people would make an extreme sports game, because I want them to do backflips. I want them to make the backflips in snowboarding or whatever.
So, Kid Crazy, let me fill you in on a little something. If you missed this in the past, the Sirento team are currently working on their next game, and they said that they were not good at storytelling. And that
and we agree.
They owned up to some of the mistakes that they made, and they said, well, we wasted a lot of effort and resources trying to make a story and do this, when really we could have made the combat deeper, the enemies deeper, the levels deeper. So they are actually, in fact, working on their next game. It's going to be a long time from now, but it will be a deeper Sirento, like more enemies, more leveling, a bunch of other stuff. So good news on that forefront.
Yeah. David Moore asked, would PlayStation 1 games go on my retro channel? For anyone who doesn't know, I did start a Without Parole retro channel just to have it there, because at some point
you haven't used it, have you?
No, and it's going to be a while. I just want people to know that it exists. And I would think that PlayStation 1, I maybe even Dreamcast and prior would probably be what I'd be focusing on over there. Although to be honest with you, I'd like an excuse to go back and play some PS2 games as well. So who knows, man? Who knows what I'll consider retro? Good stuff.
Okay, so couple things here. I found one other one that I think Croy Lure Sigma, that has VR support, right? I remember playing something in Croy Lure Sigma.
The hell is that?
It does have VR support, but I've never actually. This is the one PSVR game I own it from limited run, and I've never actually put the disc in to see what the VR thing's about.
You know what's funny? When I Googled Croy Lure Sigma PSVR, the only footage of it that exists is from my channel from 3 years ago.
That sounds right.
Nobody else has ever covered it or talked about it.
Yeah.
But it looks like it might be Japan only VR support. But in the chat, we've also got someone who said Infinite Mini Golf VR is on there as well. So there's a few that are VR support.
That's one of AJ's favorites.
Yeah, he loves that.
He's a big fan.
And Johnny C says Eve Valkyrie Warzone is on the UK PS now, but not the US.
That's amazing.
So there is a few region differences. He says Bound is also on the UK now as well.
Yeah.
I think Bound might have been on ours too. Let me double check. I thought I saw.
So
Bound.
if it's just one final question on this,
Bound is on US as well.
If it's PS4, it can be downloaded, or is it still specific?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. So, in other news, speaking of Resident Evil Village might have some interesting info coming up soon because they are going to be at, guys, can you guess where they're going to be?
TGS?
Tokyo Game Show, September 26th through 27th.
Right.
And they're going to be showing off some more info regarding Resident Evil Village. I'm not expecting anything about VR yet, but I am eventually. You want to know any more info on it, or you just want to go and you've seen enough and you just want to go hide anything else until you play the game?
I mean, it's a tough call, right? I mean, when we saw that Resident Evil 7 trailer, like I think before launch, it showed Jack crashing through the wall of that hallway, and I remember being in that hallway going, I think this is the hallway from the trailer where Jack crashes through the wall, and I walked down and I was like, oh, maybe not. And then every time I had to walk back up and down that hallway, I was like, is this the trailer? I mean, is this the hallway that... And it's just those things. I don't even want to be questioning. I don't want to be wondering, oh, is this the area where that thing happens? Or that thing I saw in the trailer? Yeah. Now that... I don't even need to know the stuff that they showed me in this trailer. All Capcom needs to do for me is say, hey, Brian, Resident Evil 8's coming out. It's called Resident Evil 8 Village. And it's going to have PSVR support. And we're not going to show you anything about it. And I'm going to go, that's exactly what I want. You don't need to sell me. You already did. So yeah, I want to go media blackout. The only thing that sucks about this job is that you can't really go media blackout. You have to watch everything and report on everything. And so yeah, I hope they don't go too crazy with the spoilery stuff. But you guys,
they also have Prey on PS now, which has a VR mode. I'm still looking through the list. I'm on the S's now, but Prey is on there as well. So we're like 4 or 5 here. We got.
Isn't that a separate download? I'm pretty sure that there's a whole separate download for the Prey VR stuff.
I thought it was part of the main game, and you just updated it.
I don't know,
but I could be wrong. But you didn't have to pay for it either way. You didn't have to pay for it.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Let's see.
So yeah, Tokyo Game Show. So real quick, before we move on with the rest of the news, let's go ahead and get this giveaway.
Are we going to do the giveaway already?
Yep, we have a $50 PSN card from PSVR this week. Make sure you watch it every Sunday. And good luck to everybody. Brian.
Yes. I'm totally ready. I swear.
Just to build up the suspense a little more, they also have Tekken 7, which has a VR mode. I'm going to keep reading these now.
Oh.
All right, you guys ready?
Not a great VR mode.
We're choosing.
Sandra
Cries. What? Sandra Cries is picking a winner, and the winner is Jonathan Azi, or Ozzy, A-Z-I. PSN is Johon Ozzy, USA, and his region, USA. So
hey, perfect.
He says, I've already got plans for this giveaway. Make your way to me, Saints and Sinners. I think that is the best way you could spend some money over on the PlayStation Store. So congratulations to Jonathan Ozzy. I will definitely contact you over PlayStation Network after the show is over and give you the key or the code for that gift card. Do me a favor, make sure that your privacy settings allow you to accept messages from people who are not your friends, because sometimes that happens, and I'm still waiting to hear back from some other winners. So let's do that, man. Congratulations again, Jonathan. Congratulations.
Shout out.
As half the people now
Thank you
make their way out of GAMESCAST Live. It's like, please don't.
All right. So I've been made aware that Prey does not have VR support as part of the base package. It's the Moon Crash DLC that you have to get.
Right.
So that's not going to be VR. So I guess we've only got like 3 or 4 games on PS now that happen.
All right. So moving on in the news.
Wait. You didn't tell me what you want. What you want from Resident Evil 8? What do you want to see at TGS? Do you want to see more gameplay? Do you want to see what's?
I want to see VR, man. I just want VR. I don't care about what else is in the game. I'm sure I'll like it.
I just want to talk about Resident Evil for the rest of the show. Can we make that happen?
I know you do.
I was like, no, come back. We're not done.
Until it has VR, I'm gonna be like, I don't really care until there's VR support. Yeah. Because that is the main appeal to me for that game is VR. Yeah. If it didn't have VR, I probably wouldn't have played Resident Evil 7.
I hate saying this, but I probably wouldn't either.
You guys are crazy. I would have played it either way. We got a tip from Donatello, the scientist game cat, with $5, and he says, "Here is my second attempt at a hug."
Donnie,
Hopefully, you get this
sorry.
one.
We missed a tip from him earlier.
Oh no, did we?
He said hug back. Yeah, we missed a $5 tip from him earlier. He says hug back, Brian. He was giving you a hug back.
Well, hopefully this makes up for lots and lots of hugs.
You deleted him from the Discord and then you ignored his tip.
Oh.
All right. So, brand new. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm in like news mode. I just want to see the VR for Resident Evil. I don't really care about anything else.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's going to be good, right? They kind of knocked it out of the park with Resident Evil 7.
I don't know that it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good.
Well, somebody over there must be paying attention. Like, right, the reviews were outstanding for Resident Evil 7. People were saying, "Oh, this is like classic RE7 or classic Resident Evil mixed with, current gen gameplay." And so, I mean, it was as far as I know, nothing but positive things to say. So hopefully whoever's over there paying attention to these things is like, "No, we're on the right track. Let's keep going in this direction," and not add like useless multiplayer like they did with Resident Evil 5, and like a bunch of short stories that are horribly connected, like Resident Evil 6. I mean, so many missteps with that series, and I think they're finally on the right track. Who wants to hug?
It too.
Anybody else want to hug out there?
No.
I want to hug.
Capcom had a horrible 10-year span, and maybe it wasn't 10 years, maybe it was like 5-6 years, but yeah, they were crap for a while, and then they really picked it back up. But let me remind everyone, Resident Evil 7 is the #1 selling Resident Evil in the franchise.
It's all because of PlayStation VR.
It is.
Don't tell anybody that's not the case. If we can get everyone
over 1 million.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right, so in exciting times, we have a brand new game that has been announced. Thank you to Hibsy, our news scooper in the Discord. We have a news section in there that you just constantly feeding information in there, and it's called Nyx, NYX. And it is a cyberpunk VR MMO that is planned for a long time from now. It's actually planned for 2022. But as you can see, that might be here before you know it. But they sent some pre-alpha footage, and it features a bunch of different things. What I will say, I'll just go, this says, "This is Nyx, a dark open world influenced by the visions of Sid Mead. An 80s-style cyberpunk universe." Yes, Sid Mead. An 80s-style cyberpunk universe true to its genre, featuring a dense and detailed world full of cities and wastelands, elaborate lore, immersive sound design, and a beautiful analog soundtrack inspired by legendary composer Vangelis. A unique, groundbreaking MMO experience. This is not your typical fantasy adventure.
Sounds like a cyberpunk game.
Yeah. Did you see the trailer, guys?
Well, I heard Sid Mead and I heard Vangelis, and I know all I need to know. But I'm excited. That sounds cool. I'm into that.
MMO in VR, to me, especially something that looks this good, I think again, this is yet another example of somebody saying this is coming to PlayStation 5 VR and not being able to actually say PlayStation 5 VR. So they just go, "Oh yeah, PSVR in 2022." It's like the best way they can say it without actually saying the things that they're not allowed to say. It does look good, I mean, for what they're showing here, but it's obviously super early on for a game that's going to be like cutting edge next gen, right?
Yeah. This game looks kind of cartoonish. Have you noticed there's been a huge influx of cyberpunk games lately too? It seems like we had none, and now there's like 5 or 10, which I'm okay with that.
It's a sign of the times.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as they're different from each other. And this one does look different. The characters itself have this kind of, like I said, cartoonish, kind of just-in-time ink look to them.
Come on. Really, you're going with just-in-time incorporated as your
characters.
Here, maybe I didn't watch this close enough because
the characters. Look at the hands. Not the world. The world looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
The characters themselves look like little, like low poly little figures.
I mean, this is almost 2 years out, right? So it's
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised they're even showing anything, and I'm expecting, we're talking about, so many games have a cartoon aesthetic to them, but I really think that maybe this doesn't have a cartoon aesthetic. This is just sort of what it looks like in its current state, and I think by the time this thing comes out, we could absolutely have some like a whole lot more polish to it. It could actually start looking a little bit more realistic in the sense that like Saints and Sinners, when you take a real close look at it, has kind of a cartoon look, but when you're just playing it, it feels pretty realistic. I feel like we could be seeing something along those lines here. I don't know how much is because it's so early on, and how much is because this is the art style they're going for. It's kind of tough to tell right now. But yeah, I do see what you're saying. I totally see what you're saying now that I saw the characters this time around. Yeah, possibly. I'm sorry. I saw a good comment from the Triangulator. He says, what about Resident Evil 7 makes it great to you? Story, graphics, gameplay? Wondering what you think Capcom has to do to nail it again. Honestly, real quick, I know that I talked about Resident Evil 7 like pretty much nonstop around here, but as the best PlayStation VR game, I feel like it needs to be answered. And stop shaking your head. I see you over there. Come on, turn off your camera if you're going to disagree with me. No, what I think, do what Dave
does. That's what I do when I turn my camera off.
That's exactly it. He's just like turning the camera off.
Shouting into the void.
Yeah.
Screaming at you guys.
There he goes. He's got it.
Yelling in chat.
Honestly, I would normally hate the whole thing about the bakers. I'm like, this isn't Resident Evil. This isn't real. This isn't zombie stuff. Once you get into the molded stuff, that's very cool. But the bakers themselves, I'm like, this doesn't feel Resident Evil. And actually at the beginning, I was like, this isn't what I'm looking for in a Resident Evil game. But what I think they nailed that made me love it so much was the VR horror aspect. And it does feel very survival horror in terms of like, oh man, I've got to conserve every single bullet that I have the first time through, because I don't know what's coming up. I don't know, what the next door will lead to. And so there's this constant sense of pressure and fear and tension that like just doesn't let up for the entire game for me. So that's what I think they nailed. And as it turns out, I ended up liking the story too, strangely enough.
I think the cool thing about RE7 is like it came at a time where they had sort of already fucked the franchise up so bad that they could do anything and it would be better. So like, to say, whether it's like the original RE1, RE2, RE3, it's obviously much, much different of a game. But at the same time, in 5 and 6, they took it in directions that were really weird and sort of watered down the franchise and made it something it wasn't.
Yeah.
But coming back from that, they had an opportunity, almost like a platform from the failures of 5 and 6 to do something totally different, but nail it. And that's enough to make it feel like a good RE game. You know what I mean? Like, because 5 and 6 did different stuff. It just didn't work. It wasn't good. Yeah. So they took that back to the drawing board, came up with 7. And I think 8 looks incredible too, which once again is going to be kind of rewriting the playbook in terms of like witches and werewolves and all this shit. Like that's not Resident Evil stuff usually. But I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah,
because RE4 I think is like the best example of when they went in a different direction and it kind of clicked. Because it's not zombies exactly in RE4.
No,
there's something weird going on, and there's like giants and all this kind of shit. It's not as straightforward as the first few games.
Yeah,
so
I'll agree with Lethal Weasel VR. He says the Baker estate was the star of RE7. Yeah, I think even more than the Bakers themselves. I 100% agree with you. And of course, the person I won't agree with at all in this chat is Johnny Miller, talking fucking madness over there, saying it's not VR when you play with the DualShock 4. So many amazing PlayStation VR games that use the DualShock 4. I've never been so scared in my life. It sounds like he hasn't played it because you're too fucking scared, Johnny.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to heckle him for saying he's just too scared to play.
Yeah, totally. That's the stance we're taking. We don't care what the truth is. Sorry, Johnny. You've been made fun of. It's over.
You might tell us you played it. I'm not going to believe you. For the purposes of the chat, you never played it.
Yeah, but it's probably time to stop heckling and move on.
Why not?
Wait. So aren't we supposed to be heckled?
Yeah, back to Nick's, guys, because
yes.
This trailer is going to be running in the bottom left for 30 minutes.
We're not talking about this game for 30 minutes.
The different features that it has, it says questing, classes, open world exploration, physics-oriented gameplay, player versus environment, player interactions, crafting and gathering, and they've already got like extra content. There is a soundtrack that you can preview. Listen.
I'm playing the trailer for everybody. You can hear it now. Playing it full screen for everybody so they can hear it now. Yeah. Listen to this thing. Listen to it.
I can't hear it.
I can't either, actually.
Well, I hope they tell us what it sounds like. Hey guys, what does it sound like?
Sounds like music to my ears. Pretty good looking trailer. It's a good find. I'm excited that people are talking about things that are this far out. We don't obviously want to hear things. Hear about everything that's this far away. But it is nice to kind of like have a glimpse into the future and see that there's stuff like way over the horizon that's coming. It makes me excited about the future.
Absolutely. But yeah, they definitely listed a lot of stuff. Obviously super early, but I hope they achieve as much as this is possible, because this is the thing, man. It took for the PS3, it took up until about almost 2013. It was like 2012, I think it was, when Defiance, of all games, Defiance was like one of the first MMOs on PS3. So that's a hard thing to do. Imagine trying to think about how the developers that they shudder when you say VR multiplayer, and these people want to do a VR MMO. I think it's going to be a minute before we get any functional VR MMO. But hopefully the power of the PS5 and stuff can make that a lot easier.
Well, hold on though. I mean, there is a functional VR MMO. It doesn't look great, but it runs on the power of the Quest, even, which is what is that game? Orbis VR. Orbis VR. I've played it before. It is an MMO. There's a ton of people in there, and it was actually cool. I hopped in the first time. I had no idea what was going on, and some dude just came up to me and was like, "Hey, it looks like you don't know what's going on." And he showed me everything, and he gave me a pet dragon. And he was like, "Oh, what color do you want? I have all these different colors." And he just like bred me a dragon.
That's the cool thing about MMOs, man. They usually have really cool communities around them.
So what I'm saying is, if you can do it on Quest, I mean, it doesn't look. I'll say this: it doesn't look great, and it's not the most fun game in the world. But it is an MMO with classes and people playing it, and it seemed like it had as much of a player base as Firewall, at least. And so you could put something like that on VR already, but I'd love to see a more polished one, obviously, in the future.
And I think whoever's first to market on this is gonna strike it rich.
Man. Yes, right? Absolutely.
Because this is something we've been asking about. We used to see the trailers for Elysium, and that and the Kickstarter failed for that, and it was like just kind of like big open world, almost Grand Theft Auto elements, like all sorts of things going on. Again, it looks super basic, but the promises were huge, and people are dying for that. We still need something like that in VR, and so. Yeah.
Nostos, the beginning footage we saw from Nostos was not very promising, which was apparently coming to us later, but they need to get their stuff sorted out. The Zenith stuff, Zenith has a lot of backing on it. That's actually might come out a lot sooner than this, and it is another cyberpunk MMO that's inspired by like Sword Art Online and stuff too. So that will be interesting, but I do love how each of these new games, these genres that we've known for a long time and become well accustomed to, are now trying to make the jump to VR, add these interactive features, right? Because multiplayer in VR is fantastic.
And an MMO, I really think, is great for VR. I mean, people love VR chat on PC, right? VR chat is a huge sensation. People love Rec Room. They love spaces where you can go and like spend time together with other people. And this is going to just be like a perfect way to do that, I think. So should be very cool.
Nice. All right, you guys. Time to move on to the next news story.
Yeah.
Yes. So, so speaking of Saints and Sinners announced today that they are getting a physical copy. Did you hear that, Gamer Pick 13? I know she cares and wants to hear. She gets all of her news from us. She doesn't know anything until we say the news about Saints and Sinners. 11/3/20. So November 3rd, we will be getting a physical edition of Saints and Sinners. That's pretty cool. I know a lot of people were asking for that.
Here's what I'm asking for. If you have any say in this, Tiffany, I know it's going to affect the cost of production, but can you please put a goddamn manual in the thing? I'm so tired of games coming out, even special edition games. Like Accounting Plus, I bought the $70 special edition. There's no manual in the fucking thing. There's not even an art book or anything. Come on, guys. We're tired of this. Physical games should not just be an empty plastic shell with the disc in it. I remember when things were good. Like, hold on, check this out.
I remember when things were good.
This is like a prop that I just happened to have nearby, but it's actually very relevant. This is Cave Story for the Switch, right? Most Switch games have no manual at all.
Cave Story is perfect.
This has an awesome manual that is like a bunch of pages with cool artwork and all this stuff, as you can see. And it's just awesome. Why don't you guys put manuals in games anymore? What's wrong with you guys? Anyways, Tiffany, put a manual in that fucking game. I want some artwork. If I'm going to pay for it again, I want some artwork.
So Mr. Sonic asks, is it through like perp games? What's it through? Limited run? No, it is just a normal retail. You can pre-order right now through GameStop online. It's on my Twitter at PSVR Underground, and there's a link to it there. And they have says get it by release date Tuesday, November 3rd.
And
I don't understand why Pacer has this mindset, but he says fuck the manuals. Why fuck the manuals? What's wrong with manual? It doesn't hurt you by being there. Anyway,
I do miss manuals.
Yeah, make physicals great again. I 100% agree. Meow meow. The game.
We had the viewer takeover about settings and stuff, and somebody said that in the comment section. They were like, they were like, what about having the manuals in there again? I'm like, yeah, that's where it used to be. You'd always be like, how the hell do I play this game? What the hell am I doing? And then you look at the manual, and they would have like the basic button layouts and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too that I loved was they would have like the backstories of the characters and like art of the characters and just like interesting stuff. And they'd always have that notes page in the back where you could write down like stuff to remember in the game or like, codes or whatever, write down save keys. You had to type it in. It was like C384. This is your save file. You just put in a bunch of numbers.
And dude,
rather than a manual. Oh, good.
Well, I mean, how awesome was it? Like when you were a kid, and I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I grew up like in the country, and so it took like 45 minutes to get to a mall, right? They certainly weren't even everywhere. And then, and so like and then we spent the whole day at the mall. We're all tired and stuff, and sit in the back seat on the way home, and you just fucking devour that manual, right? Because you're just dying to play this brand new game. You got like 3 games a year maximum, and so the whole ride home, you're just like reading every single line. You're like, I'm going to be a master of this game before I even put the cartridge into the console. It was like part of the experience, and now it's like everything just gets delivered from Amazon. So it's like, I don't know, just throw the disc in, ready to go.
I would like for my Walking Dead physical copy, I would like just a rotten finger to just fall out, just a real person's dead finger to just fall out of the case when I open it.
Is this $40?
People are talking about posters in games too, having posters.
Yeah, Skyrim. I've got a Skyrim poster. I meant to hang.
You can't tell what it is right now because the lighting's really bad in here. My webcam kind of sucks, but that's a Streets of Rage poster. Somebody asked me to play. Mr. Sonic asked me to play Sonic Spinball, so I busted out Sega Genesis Classics. And lo and behold, I opened it up, and it has a poster inside that I totally forgot about. And it's quite a good Streets of Rage poster. Just, if you don't put a manual in there, Tiff, put a poster. Something.
So $40 for the physical edition, right? And did I read the pre-order wrong? Is it the $50 game? Is it the deluxe version? Or
it's probably not, because they sell the upgrade separately. So I would assume you buy just the straight up one.
It says complete edition.
It says it says complete edition. So I didn't know if that. I'm assuming that means everything.
Well, I didn't know it was called complete edition. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that should be everything.
All right. Well, $10 discount because you didn't buy it at launch. That'll teach you.
Hey.
Yeah. So that will be awesome. Cannot wait. I hope to see another update soon. We got the awards show. Be nice to get something to show for the awards show.
I just need to respond to Frowny. She says Sonic Spinball is the best. That's rose-colored glasses. That's
What?
nostalgia talking to you, because Sonic Spinball has no physics that even resemble pinball. AJ and I both had to play it recently.
The
It's
Sonic
really bad.
doesn't even look right, man. I played it in VR. The Sonic looks like it's a bad version of Sonic.
The other thing is, I've been playing real pinball games lately, and it's nothing like pinball. It doesn't feel like pinball. It's like so clunky and weird, and the physics.
How is this even rose-tinted glasses? I was playing Sonic when they were new, Sonic 1, 2, 3, whatever, and Knuckles. And then when Sonic Spinball came around, I remember playing it and going, ooh, I was a kid. I was like, this is terrible. Like, even then, it's not even rose-tinted glasses. It's just like, is that the only game you had as a kid? Just asking. It's an innocent question. I'm not heckling you like I heckled the other kid.
All right, we're doing a poll to see who has brain damage in the chat. Who likes Sonic Spinball?
It's an excellent
Just
question.
kidding. Guys. Just kidding.
No. I want to see the answer. I want to see this answer. It's very
people have
important.
already said. Dylan Gladstone said, "I love Sonic Spinball."
Dylan,
God, you guys are
Dylan,
crazy.
you're killing me,
Dylan,
man. You're killing me.
The king of hot takes lately.
The king of hot takes. Wow, you dethroned Lipnox. Well done, sir. Well done.
Lipnox has been redeemed for a while now.
Yeah,
Hello,
for sure.
Fusion Core Gaming. I see you there, bud. What's up, man?
I'm gonna give a quick shout out real quick to Tech78. He says, been in hospital going on 3 weeks and not allowed visitors. Sounds like coronavirus, but I hope you're okay, man. He says, so your videos have been the #1 thing I look forward to. Thank you, guys.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm so glad that we could be helpful, because we just are sitting here shooting the shit for 3 hours. And the fact that it helps somebody get through their day being stuck in the hospital, that's always awesome to hear stuff like that. Thank you, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely, man.
And I hope you get out soon, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. All the best,
yeah.
man. Thanks for shouting him out, Dave. I missed that completely. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next story.
Sorry, Meow the GamerCat says whoever screwed the Discord up has brain damage.
You know what? I have no defense. I'm guilty as charged. Yep. Listen. I can dish it out and I can take it out. I can totally dish it out and take it.
Guys, we got some great news. Can you do that acapella thing where it's like, hello?
No, I can't do it.
No, that's terrible. You guys are so tone deaf.
You started it.
Let me start it.
Yeah, I'll do the second one. I'll do the second
low voice.
Yeah.
I got the low voice.
I get the second one.
Hello. Hold on. Hello.
You guys are bad, man. You guys have no sense of.
No, I'm doing
I
throat
can't.
singing. Hold on, somebody whistle. You guys want to hear what throat singing
No,
sounds
okay.
like?
What are we doing? Listen, we're making him worse in the hospital. We're actually making him sicker. What is going on? Stop it.
He's never gonna
Hello
get out.
Games. Hello Games has announced that they are working on a new, huge, ambitious game. And they say it's still very early. This comes via IGN, Joe Screbbles. He says, No Man's Sky developer Hello Games has a portion of its team working on a huge, ambitious new project. In an interview with Polygon, studio founder Sean Murray explained that Hello Games is now made up of 26 people. 3 have been working on a new Hello Games short, The Last Campfire, with the remaining 23 split between working on new updates for No Man's Sky and a brand new project, which Murray calls a huge, ambitious game for the third time, game like No Man's Sky. So another game like No Man's Sky.
What I have to ask here, is this the game that we saw already? Because Hello Games showed off footage. It's a totally different game.
Totally different. That was a short movie.
It was like an adventure game. It's not a movie. It's a
The Last
game.
Campfire you're talking about?
What is it called?
The Last Campfire?
There's one more sentence here.
The Last Campfire, yes.
Yeah, no, that's the small one that AJ was just talking about. Yeah.
That's a short. But look, one last sentence. Please, let me finish this one last sentence.
I was just asking questions, fucker.
He also made clear that it isn't a sequel to No Man's Sky.
Okay.
So it's DLC.
And it's very early in development.
It's No Man's Sky PS5.
I mean, No Man's Sky is already a sequel to No Man's Sky.
He didn't say it's not No Man's Sky. He didn't say it's brand new, right?
Well, yeah, but it's not a sequel. But also, No Man's Sky is so different than it was when it launched that it's essentially even more. It's like the third game in a series with the amount of shit they've added to it over the years.
A brand new project.
And especially with VR and stuff. So like, but this is a brand new project. But I think No Man's Sky is already a sequel to No Man's Sky. That's all I'm saying. But we got a bunch of tips all of a sudden.
All right,
People are opening up their
start
wallets. So
knocking these
Brian,
out.
what are they saying to us? What's K-Panic?
The first tip we're gonna knock out is K-Panic, the artist, I don't understand why, formerly known as GameCat, $2.99 donation saying the Three Stooges, hello.
Hello.
I'm so tone deaf today. Thank you so much. We appreciate the donation. Also, Robbie B, the English GameCat, very proper, with the £5 donation saying, go around to playing Dirt again today. What an incredible VR driving game. Someone please explain why Codemasters didn't invest in Dirt 2.
Well, here's the story. Dirt 2 has VR support. Dirt Rally 2. Oh, you mean Dirt 2? But Dirt Rally 2 has VR support on PC. They invested in it plenty.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see it on PS5.
I think you're talking about Dirt Rally.
But Dirt Rally 2, yeah, it's in VR on PC, and I think they will have it on PS5. I would be surprised as hell if they didn't.
I have a feeling they were just waiting for Sony to throw money at them. They were like, we could do this, or we could wait until Sony begs us to.
Release a sequel to like the best racing game on PlayStation VR.
Right. Who knows what the real answer is, though. We also get a tip from Tech78 with $5 donation saying Three Stooges of 2020. This is interesting. We're the Three Stooges of 2020.
I'll take it. Who's Curly? Who's Mo? Who's Larry? Who's got the curliest hair? Mine's wavy. It's not curly. AJ, what's yours?
You're probably Mo.
I've never seen AJ's hair because he's always wearing it.
You're probably Mo.
I'm a Mo. Not what we're talking about. Okay, thank you for the $5 donation, Tech78, and Nihilist Ryan, the Game Feline, rare with a $5 donation saying, be excellent to each other. Be excellent to each other. Sorry, I had to get my... Yeah.
Station!
We are watching Bill and Ted 3 this Sunday.
No, stop.
No one told Dave not to advertise illegal activities?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Dave, don't advertise illegal activities.
You got no narcs in here. If you're a narc, you leave now.
Join us on the Discord.
You're
and enjoy some times with us. It's on Quest. Quest is doing illegal things. Anyways, what were we talking about? Hello Games.
So
it's not a sequel.
So how crazy is it? And this is kind of a dumb question, I guess, but I'm going to ask it anyway because that's what we do here.
I love that question.
Nice. Like when your first big game after like Joe Danger, when your first big game is No Man's Sky, and you've been working on this and like making it better and better and better, and it's one of the best space exploration games you can play, and it's got VR support and multiplayer and base building and like all sorts of crazy shit, right? I mean, it is just filled to the brim with a ton of like just shit that they added throughout the year, stuff that was there from the beginning. I mean, it's just like an ambitious game. And how crazy is it for them to be like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna make something as grand as No Man's Sky in scope for our next game. It's like, where do you even start with that?
What I think is awesome about this is that they already have all that experience, and they've built out a game over a series of years, but they've also made a lot of money over the years, and they have a much bigger team than they started with. And that team has more expertise than they started with because they've been doing this for so long.
Right.
So what I think would be cool about it is that it's like a reset. Like No Man's Sky, you improve upon the base game, but you always have to go back to the base game and improve upon it. This is like a new platform for them to come in from the start and say, hey, here's gameplay elements that No Man's Sky didn't launch with because we're prepared to deliver those now at the launch of the game. And
right.
like, I think it'll feel more fully formed and actually more cohesive because in a way, if you add stuff piecemeal over time, you sort of have to, okay, well, this can't fuck with this thing we already implemented. And okay, well, we got to consider this 3 year ago update when we do this yesterday update, that kind of stuff. Whereas if you create a new game, you can kind of put it all together from the start and say, this is our whole system. We'll add to it as we go, but it's more cohesive from the start. I think I'm excited. That'll be really cool. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be a much deeper story because I feel like that's the one thing that No Man's Sky is missing. It just feels like all the story feels tacked on. It's all text. There's not
because it was tacked on.
Right.
Essentially, that's what I'm saying. Almost all of the cool stuff is tacked on to the game. So
the story, like the lore of it, it still had a really cool like surreal experience about it. But yeah, the story, the characters in it are pretty weak overall. But
I accidentally ran over Tornado's tail with my rolling chair, and so I had to pick her up and give her some love because I wanted her to know that I didn't mean it, did I? I didn't mean it. Whoop! There she goes. Okay.
Oh, she knows you meant it.
No. She's a good girl.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I've got some interesting news here.
What's that?
Brian did an interview with a team called Secret Location a long time ago.
Wait, I don't subscribe to him.
Several months ago.
Yeah.
And in this, they talked about a significant update possibly coming to, or supposed to be coming to Blasters of the Universe, which, if anybody doesn't know, Blasters of the Universe is a fantastic bullet hell shooter on PSVR. I beat it for the first time, like during one of the, I don't know, like last time it was on sale. I finally ended up beating it. And yeah, I absolutely loved it, man. It's so good. But Blasters VR tweeted out, once it's safe to return to the streets, you'll have a reason to go out and play. Blasters of the Universe Infinity Forever is coming soon to arcades worldwide. Stay tuned for more details. This is an update to Blasters of the Universe called Infinity Forever, and it's
no, hold on. An
it's coming
update
to arcades. It's coming to arcades.
It sounds like a different version of the game. Like Mortal Blitz has an arcade version of the game.
Well,
that is Mortal Blitz.
It looks like a multiplayer version of, from going by the art, which I can maybe post in here. Maybe Brian can throw up the picture. But the last update, what did they tell you, Brian? What did they tell you they were going to be adding?
Where you didn't put it.
Picture's too big.
Yeah. They said that they wanted to add a multiplayer mode.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And this looks like a multiplayer mode. So I think I think they want to take what this arcade version is and maybe turn it into, maybe this is what their plan was for the update, for the multiplayer that they were telling you.
Yeah, they said they wanted to bring it to arcades first, I believe, and it's been a long time since this interview, so I don't want to just start claiming I remember the interview perfectly, but I do think they were talking about bringing it to arcades, and I was like, that's awesome. Is there any chance of it coming to PlayStation VR? And they were like, can we, maybe? They're like, yes, that's the plan, but we don't have anything concrete. I'm pretty sure that's the wording they used. Okay. And so it sounds like this is step one in that phase. So the fact is that if it exists and we're seeing it in arcades, or it's going to be seen in arcades soon, that sounds like step one. And then maybe eventually we'll get it on PlayStation VR.
Okay, cool.
Or hopefully.
The fact that they said that is reassuring, because I mean, you can't just assume because there's an arcade version, but they told you, so that's cool.
Well, we trust AJ, man. AJ is the news guy, and he knows his shit.
One question I have is, so Mortal Blitz Combat Arena is a separate standalone release, free to play, right? And that's where they took Mortal Blitz as a franchise, and that started as an arcade thing, I think. If not that specific version of the game, they went to arcades after they released.
Yeah, Skonek went right to arcades after Mortal Blitz.
And they even made like Beat Saber arcade machines. But I'm curious if something like that will happen here. Like, is it a separate game or is it an update to Blasters? Is it Blasters Arena mode that's like a separate download, that sort of thing, or what? Well, I guess we'll find out.
I hope they make some money on it, first of all, because I think Blasters is ridiculously cheap. What is it, like
so good?
$15 or something?
Yeah.
I don't know, something along those
lines.
And
it's a fantastic game. I think it's really an overlooked game. It is so good.
Yeah, and so if they were planning on making it like DLC for the original game, I mean, I don't know how they're doing financially. I mean, Transpose was their second game, right? This was their first. And then they did the Big C on PC that never quite made it here. Have we heard anything else from them since Secret Location?
No, they are pretty secret.
I don't think so.
So my hope would be is that, like, if they wanted to charge for this DLC, multiplayer in Blasters would be amazing, and I don't think anyone would mind spending like $10 on this thing. Or if it's a brand new game, then just sell it as a brand new game. We get that too.
What I'm curious about is, how do you adapt Blasters to multiplayer? Because so it's about bullet hell, but your gun doesn't create a bullet hell.
But it could.
The enemy creates bullet hell. If everyone's shooting at each other, well, no, what I'm saying is, if everyone's shooting at each other with bullet hell guns,
Well, what's that new game? Blast On? Isn't Blast On exactly this, where it's people shooting at each other with bullet hell guns?
I don't know. I haven't seen Blast On. I don't know about it.
I mean, it was the headline for a GAMESCAST a while back.
And who cares? I never watched this.
So I mean, it's already a different game by a different developer coming at us. So I could see it being a total possibility.
I remember them saying they wanted to do it as a multiplayer update. However, yeah, either way, as long as we get some kind of multiplayer in it, I would be happy with it.
You know what I think we're
I
forgetting?
was thinking maybe more of a co-op thing.
That's what we're forgetting. Yeah,
would be pretty cool. That's kind of
my head wasn't there at all, AJ, and that's exactly what that makes way more sense, right?
Co-op.
To have 3 people playing co-op against the levels that you're familiar with, but maybe tougher. That makes way more sense.
Yeah. But they did say stay tuned for more details. So that was just from a tweet from yesterday. So that's fresh.
We got 2 things real quick.
Yep.
First one is that not only does Cave Story have a manual. I'm talking to you, Tiffany. We're talking about Walking Dead, and you have a say in this. There's a miniature soundtrack CD in here. Give us a miniature soundtrack CD too.
I do not want that damn soundtrack.
Cave Story did it. Why can't you do it, Tiffany?
It's like
And
the
the
thing of
second thing
nightmares.
is that we've got a tip for $5 buckaroonies, actually $4.99, from K Panic, the artist formerly known as GameCat, who says, "Still a GameCat, B. Don't worry. Artists like Dreams and Prince Symbol, or is that Paw Prince? Catface." Thank you, K Panic. He is still a GameCat. Let's see. Brian left. What's Brian up to? Did he say anything?
No, but that just happens sometimes.
Okay, it's your show now.
All right, sweet. Let's do this. Cats, what do you want to talk about? You want to know anything about Dave? Like, you want to know any private things that he tells me? Ask me. You guys, or Brian, either one. It's just, damn it, he's back. But
did Dave leave you alone?
I did.
Oh.
For fun. Yeah, for fun.
How was
you
the
cats
AJ
weren't
show?
quick enough, man. You cats weren't quick enough. The damn delay. All right, so the Elysia Kickstarter is firing up tomorrow. They have a video to go along with it. It premieres in 12 hours. Speaking of MMOs, this is the MMO that I've really been keeping my eye on, because this is basically a World of Warcraft clone from what I've seen with like VR implementation. But yeah, cannot wait, and glad that they finally got this Kickstarter going.
Just to follow up on our last thing real quick, Justin has some details on Blasters multiplayer. He said it's a free roam game for up to 4 players, and it consists of 4 levels. So I don't know what that entails gameplay wise, but that is a little bit of info that I don't think we had.
Free roam. I love it. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, free roam for up to 4 players and 4 levels. That could be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
While you were gone, and now I'm getting all the questions now, because while you were gone, I was talking to the chat. Let me just answer one. Mark Pringlesleaf says, "What games are you currently playing?" I just got the Platinum and Pistol Whip, which is my should we, shouldn't we, and it's definitely a should we. I've been playing a lot of Dreams. I just updated my Dream Borders game. There's now grab tricks, so now you can snowboard, you can move, and you can grab the board.
Yeah, and the board is tied to your feet now, so when you do a spin, it actually looks like you're doing a spin.
Yes, it is. I fixed the board as well, so now I can go crazy with that. Was playing Vader Immortal. I beat the Dojo 3 in Vader Immortal. I will say,
you're spending a lot of time answering this question for a dude who didn't tip.
anyways, Vader Immortal Dojo, and a bunch of other stuff. Sorry, my doggy's having doggy dreams.
Uh-oh.
Wake up. He's like howling in his sleep. I'm sorry.
I wish Carlos was in here. Okay, we got one more tip from Drew, Delirium Drew VR, $5. He says ELE with a bunch of exclamation points, and then I was like, what does that mean? He explains it right afterwards by saying, everyone love everyone. Brian Paul loves you all, so why not you guys love all of each other, right?
Yeah, I try to set a good example.
And
What do
then
you guys think of
Honor and Duty after the live show, be there or be square, Game Cats. Yeah.
Oh wow!
So this is a new thing. Apparently, everybody plays Honor and Duty after the game.
Gamecast?
Yeah, I played last week with everyone. It was great.
Talking about this. It's really cool.
I played last week with everyone. I got my ass kicked by Geisen about 1,000 times. Like I didn't
Geisen
even.
Is so good at
I didn't even see Geisen on the map. Like he was picking me off from like thousands of miles away. I'd spawn and like boom, and I'd be like, "Some guy killed you." I'm like, "Motherfucker, dude's too good." Yep. And I drag my team down every single time.
I will probably rarely join those because I don't usually eat dinner before the Gamescast, and by the time we're done, I'm just like starving. So usually don't want to play a game right after that. But
got to beat the pizza guy.
Exactly.
But yeah, what do you guys think about this Elysia game? Did you guys ever play World of Warcraft or anything, or any MMO that really you fancy?
I played a bunch of what is that fucking Phantasy Star Online, but that wasn't exactly an MMO.
No.
It's a little different. I didn't ever get into like Ultima or EverQuest or any of those like actual MMOs back then.
Final Fantasy 11. Yeah.
No, not Final Fantasy 11 was god awful, but 14, A Realm Reborn, was actually pretty good. But,
oh man, there's gonna be some people who disagree with you on 11.
I heard that it was pretty shitty at launch, and then eventually it became a good game.
Right.
Yeah,
A Realm Reborn. That's what it's called.
Oh, we can do that, huh? But we can't harmonize.
But yeah, like I said, I'm super excited for this. These usually have these amazing communities that follow with them in VR. You get to interact with each other. It's a lot of fun. The combat seems pretty decent so far. I really like the art style of it.
It looks so much better.
Really hope this game is successful because. But trailer tomorrow. That's exciting. I can't wait to see that new trailer.
Yeah, it's coming along. Like I say, this what we're seeing now, which obviously is. I have no idea what all these like little flashing images and stuff are on the screen. I'm assuming maybe I didn't get this from the developer. Maybe this is somebody else's video about it. But man, the last thing we'd seen was like a big field, and they had like used these placeholder graphics that didn't look so hot. And this is like kind of a whole like city and stuff. Is this the right game? It looks too good.
I'm looking at this. I don't know if this is the right game.
Let me get back to.
Is it just a Kickstarter trailer? Because that's not a game.
This is a Portugal walkthrough.
Fuck.
This is a walkthrough of Portugal in VR, Brian.
That's the wrong thing.
Well, this game doesn't look nearly as good as I thought it did. What the hell are we watching?
But Portugal looks beautiful. Let's visit.
This is why no one should let me do anything. I mean, this is. Yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yep. Let me get rid of this. What the fuck are we watching?
Oh, $10 from Donatello's Science Game Cat. That just reaches the threshold for Tree Guy. A quick fuck you from Tree Guy. Here is some pizza, cash, / loving sliced with my bow staff. Don't know what that means. Got to go, but give it all you got. Booyakasha.
Thank you so much, Donatello. I love that your bow staff donned my future pizza. So this is a little more accurate. A little more accurate here.
Oh, I think that is Half-Life Alex.
He lovingly sliced it with his bow staff. I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of sexual, I think.
Yeah, I mean.
There we go.
He was thinking about you when he did it.
Right. Listen, the logic jump wasn't that far, right? I was like, here's this cool looking town, and then I was like, wow. But obviously, the town we were looking at was way more modern. I was like, they've even changed the art direction. Like they've changed everything. It still looks good, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the new Kickstarter trailer looks like. Apologies to Elysia out there when I was like, now nothing's going to live up to the show we showed. I said like it was their fault as well.
But yeah, looking forward to that one tomorrow, mañana. Okay, where's my list here? Was that
everybody's shouting at me about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I know what his fucking weapon is, but he didn't type the word lovingly out. That's why I was confused. He just put loving. So I was confused. Grammatically, not what a bow staff is.
So, speaking of physical copies, the Persistence VR is actually getting a physical North America copy September 4th.
Another one. Craziness.
It was it Perp Games?
Originally?
It's always Perp Games.
Yeah.
No, it's Perp Games now.
Okay. Well, it's actually, but the difference here, the significance here is that it's having a North American retailer release.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perp is UK. When we mention Perp releases, you gotta get them imported.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, obviously they're handling the Switch version, they're handling everything version, which is really nice. Just to clarify, the original one was also in North America, so it's kind of this is sort of like, I mean, I don't know, unnecessary for people who already own the game. It's already been out physically, but they're like re-releasing it physically. It's kind of strange, but I'm assuming this has all the DLC on the disc, so and it's a good win for Perp. I like to see Perp succeed.
Yeah. People are questioning my fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles knowledge in the chat. And Drew, rudely enough, says, "What color is Leonardo?" This is a flashback to elementary school.
Come on. That's not even a question. We know the answer to that question, Drew.
No, but I'm colorblind. So I'm tired of people asking me what color shit is. I don't know. He's blue or purple, one or the other. Those two.
Leonardo's blue, Donatello's purple, Michelangelo's yellow, and Raphael's red. But
and he says, which one is cool but rude, Dave? Obviously, Raphael. Duh. Get out of here.
Raphael is cool. Right. Raphael is cool but crude. Michelangelo is a party dude.
Cool but rude. Yeah.
Is it rude? I thought it was crude.
And next time I'll use mustard. All right.
Okay, let's continue. Enough TMNT talk.
But is there ever enough TMNT talk?
No. Everybody should watch the episode.
VR, 4-player, first-person, Turtles in Time remaster. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah.
First person, eh?
Well, you got to use that bow staff with the move controllers.
That would be kind of fun. Yeah.
I just had to throw bow staff in there again.
I'm sure you could slice pizza with it in the game.
All right.
Yes.
So.
Virtual pizza.
Yeah, but Persistence, man. Persistence is an amazing game. Everybody who likes action and stealth and some horror and sci-fi.
In VR.
Definitely check it out. I can't stop sneezing.
Oh, people are saying Michelangelo is orange. That does it. Unsubbing. Disliking.
Michelangelo's not orange.
You mean orange, Brian. Orange for Michelangelo. Yellow, you mean orange.
Boom, roasted.
Maybe I'm colorblind too. It's weird for a graphic designer.
Mark is colorblind too. Mark, solidarity, man.
I'll be right back.
It's all yours, Brian.
Yeah, you got it. I'm going literally back, and I'm looking at images from the original TV series, and God, okay, well this is a Mandela effect thing right here. Oh, actually, there are some pictures. Here, you know what? I'm going to save this image, and I'm going to bring it up on the screen for you guys, because there is certainly some images here where Michelangelo is very, very much yellow, and I'm going to prove it to you guys, because this
people
is what
are saying it's a trick question because all the turtles are green.
All the turtles are green, except in the original comics, they all had the same color mask on. So it's not even a really fair question. You're asking about the TV series specifically and everything that followed, like video games and stuff. Totally different story. But we're all on the same page. We all grew up with this stuff. So here, I'm gonna look for. Here we go. Okay, let's bring that up on the screen so everyone can see. Where the hell is it? It disappeared. It must not exist. I don't even know where it is. It's supposed to be on the screen right now. I don't know. You know what, guys? I give up. You're right. But seriously, search for it. Google it. He was certainly yellow at some points. Yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Apparently it's the Brian Paul show. I had no idea that this was going to happen. But let's see. Just incredible. You're killing me. They added a 5th turtle recently? Nick Mulo, Berenstein Baird. That's exactly what happened. It's definitely orange as frowny. Man, this is ridiculous. Decepticon knows what's up. He goes in comments, it's all red. That's right. It's all red. Brian's colorblind too. Maybe. Anything's possible. You guys want to talk about Resident Evil 7? I want to talk about Resident Evil 7. I should talk about Resident Evil 7. Everybody should download Resident Evil 7 and play it. It's not real VR because it doesn't use move controllers. But it's amazing. Scariest game on PlayStation VR. Best game on PlayStation VR. I can only vamp for so long. Wait, you guys want to talk to Tornado? You guys want to play some guitar? My guitar is like wicked out of tune and it's got a broken string, so I have to restring it. But next time this happens, I'll have my guitar ready and I can assault your senses with my singing songwriting. It's horrible. You know these guys plotted against me. They're like, we're going to show them what's up. That's what's happening right now. You guys want to talk about Dave and AJ while they're gone? That's
Oh, well, let's sing a song about Brian. I got my guitar right here. It's not in tune, but it's all stringed up, and Brian can suck my ear. That's right. Fuck Brian.
Suck your ear? I hope the name of the song is Brian Can Suck My Ear. .com. That's
Brian can suck my ear.
How did it feel to delete Resident Evil 7, Brian, says Nick Mulo. It was kind of painful, knowing that I was just going to have to like reinstall it from my disc.
It actually is in tune. I just suck. Or no, it's not.
What are we doing here? So I was at the K Panic says does Tornado like the movie Twister? I was at my dentist's office and I was talking to her about Tornado, and she goes, "That's crazy." She's like, "My cat's name is Twister." So there you go.
Holy crap, man! I had like a horrible sneeze attack. Mark Pringlesleaf mentions it's not VR, but the Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is coming out. I am stoked for that, dude. Amazing RPG, action RPG done with the art style from Todd McFarlane. That's going to be cool. So, moving on, Vader Immortal has finally been released in Sweden. So all of our Swedes out there, you can now buy Vader Immortal if you're interested.
Is it just Sweden, or is that like an indicator that like it's probably out in other places?
It might be other places. All I know is Sweden at this time. I don't know what the deal is, why it only released in like one region or whatever.
Interesting launch strategy. We're just going to do one country at a time.
I have a little bit to add on Vader Immortal about the game.
What do you got?
You know, we know there's all the little bugs with it. But you know, I wanted to unlock everything in the dojo, right? In Dojo 3, and I beat Dojo 3. There's 47 levels in Dojo 3. It's really cool because there are a lot of like extra droids that they started introducing. And you know, you posted that news article or that interview with the developers.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch it?
I got about 2/3 of the way through, halfway through, and it was obviously just an advertisement for their game. They weren't. It was done before the PlayStation VR release, and it wasn't.
And they didn't talk about click turning and.
It was all the people about like the story and the screenwriting and stuff, and I thought all that stuff was fantastic. You know, it was actually the people that they mentioned were all the people that did like really good job with the game. The problem is like the little things in the port.
It was a little too much of them patting themselves on the back for making this awesome experience and not actually talking about things that like it would have been great if they like released that video a couple days before launch or the day of. But to have it come out a week later and not address any of the game's problems is asinine. It's like that is just ignoring your fan base and that's screaming.
Well, we know they weren't going to do that anyways. Lucasfilm isn't going to slum it with us and tell us we're listening to your feedback, but they might implement it in a patch. But one thing, real quick, Kramer 3K has correctly figured out the whole gist of this show, and he says Vader in Sweden. Slow news day. Like, yeah, pretty much. You've got us. But we got some tips to take care of. AJ, you want to grab this first one?
That first one comes from Scott Jessico with the $4.99 donation. Says, PSN, hairy fella at work as usual. Watch when I get home. Only 7 hours till I can look. Looks like a good show as always from the best on YouTube.
It's okay.
Hashtag PSVR.
It's okay. Yeah. I just played guitar a minute ago and sang a song about Brian sucking.
Right.
So that'll be fun for you to watch
although I hear Brian sucks pretty good. But thank you, Scott Jessica. We appreciate that. And also shout out to future.
I hear Brian sucks pretty good.
I hear Brian sucks pretty good. Hey, if you're going to do something.
If it's an earlobe, that's true.
That's right.
I've already established.
Shout out to future Scott Jessica, who's watching this 7 hours in the future.
Later.
Yes.
Hello, future. And then we've got K Panic, the artist formerly known as GameCat, once again with the $2.99 donation. Yo, 233 peeps in here and only 80 some likes. There's 230 people watching me. Get out of here. I don't want.
I don't question the 80 likes. So I was like, I'm not surprised it's not more.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. How many dislikes?
It's not our best show.
How many dislikes have we got?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but about the dojo, just one last thing I want to add on the dojo. So I did enjoy it overall, the dojo. I added a couple more hours to the experience, a lot more fun. The combat gets really good. You start to feel like a badass when you're just destroying everything left and right. I will say though, once you get the Darth Maul saber, that's all you really. If you're like, I don't want to unlock everything in the dojo, just go for the Darth Maul.
That's
saber.
what I'm going for. That's the thing I want really bad, but it's kind of hard to get to, right? It takes a while to get there. How many?
It didn't take too long.
It's like rounds does it take to unlock? Because I have like 20 or 21. Or
it might be like in the 70 range.
It's pretty high. So if you guys don't know, every stage has 3 stars you can get. Some of them are really easy to get 3 stars on. Even later in the dojo, comparatively, other ones you can't even get 1 fucking star. But it lets you progress. At least it lets you progress. I like that.
But yeah, the final saber is Kylo Ren's. And man, they really make it a grind. You have to basically get all 3 stars on all of the levels. And
so my question is, does that prove that Kylo Ren is like the coolest Star Wars character now?
Well, he's got a cool looking lightsaber.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is his lightsaber the most badass lightsaber yet? Because that's the last one you unlock. So it's sort of like,
I don't know. Darth Maul's is amazing, man. Darth Maul's is dual sided, so you can throw it and it just both sides hit. So
did you get the hang of using it like when you're holding it? Because when I saw you were just using the one saber, but like, did you get the hang of using both sides and like flipping it around and stuff?
You're kind of limited.
That's the fun of it, of being like bam, 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 throw, bam, bam. Slice,
if you really want that feeling, of having full freedom of using a dual sided lightsaber, Sirento, and get the upgrade where the dual sided blade, and you can jump and do backflips. I want like another Star Wars game with the locomotion of Sirento.
Oh, man. That would be awesome, because you can do wall runs in Jedi Fallen Order. So why not? You can do, like, the guy does a front flip sometimes, I swear to God. He swings off of ropes. Oh man, I'm down. Let's do that someday. Industrial Light and Magic, if you're watching.
They're not.
Scallywags, Star Wars Squadrons is more up my alley. Star Wars Squadrons is going to be amazing. We're only a month away. Literally, actually, less than a month away from Star Wars Squadrons.
Star Wars Squadrons is going to be up everyone's alley.
I'm so excited about that.
That is a game-ass game. And
game-ass game.
Yep.
That's a Chandra Ekanayake quote if I ever heard one.
But all right, guys, so that's it for the news. However, it is time to jump in the huge month ahead of us. We are going to preview all the games that we know are coming out this month, and September is looking awesome. You're not going to see banners and stuff everywhere right now, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And let's start with the first game, which we debuted the very first trailer for, and that is Swordsman VR.
Ah, yes, the swordsman himself. So this looks kind of like Blade and Sorcery, which is what everybody wants on PSVR. Everybody's like, when is Blade and Sorcery coming to PSVR? Well, we're not getting that one just yet, but we are getting Swordsman VR. Now, of course, we must say this is from Sin Studios, and if you guys know Sin Studios, it's hard to know what to expect, although this one looks much more polished than anything they've done in the past. And we've also seen similar developers kind of like come up from a game that wasn't so good. Brian, I know you're going to hate this discussion again, but Merville's to Shadow Legend. That's the paradigm that I'm hoping we see here. Because from Merville's to Shadow Legend, they made a huge leap in their ability as a developer and made like a very good game. And so I'm hoping that Sin Studio can do that, because the games they've released so far have been decisively not good. Their recent one, Warzone, very bad. Very fucking bad. Perfect Sniper, some people like it, but it sucks. What was the other one they made? All their games suck, is what I'm saying. So I hope this one's good.
I'm waiting for you, AJ.
I believe, man. I believe this is going to be good.
Nice. I just had the turtles up on the screen to prove to everyone that there are images of Michelangelo with a yellow mask on.
It looked like yellow to me.
Yeah, looked very yellow to me. But that's good. It's good to know I'm not colorblind. I'm really happy to hear that.
It looks orange to me, but I'm colorblind. I'm pretty sure.
So there's confirmation it's yellow. Sweet.
I'm saying it's orange.
I thought it was yellow, but then when the mob was saying it's orange, I started having like kind of like a.
Did you call them the mob? Did you call them the mob? Our chat.
I mean, they're kind of the mob mentality thing going on right now.
We've never called them the mob before.
Did I?
Like that.
I thought I said the chat.
You said the mob.
The mob.
The mob?
I love it.
I
love it.
I don't know. I don't know what I said.
It was a Freudian slip, but I like it. We're sticking with that. You guys are now called the mob.
The mob. Mob of cats. All right.
Yeah, Game Cat Mafia.
So
this. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I mean, so let's start at the beginning. Dave mentioned a bunch of games that Sin Studio put out that weren't so good, and I agree. They're definitely subpar quality, very very low budget games that were put out for way too expensive. I've said this 1,000 times. I just want to clarify. I thought Wraith was kind of fun, right? I thought Wraith had its moments. There's like this store that you access during the game. You have to every other game, like Brookhaven, like it gives you the ability to get extra items and buy stuff.
Brookhaven is 30 times better than Wraith.
100% agree. But it gives you time, all the time you need between rounds to do that. And the cool mechanic that Wraith had was to like force you to like manage that store and buy new weapons and buy more ammo while these things are attacking you. Don't get me wrong, I understand that Wraith is not very good. There's not a lot going on. But I thought what it was doing, it was kind of cool. And if it was a $5 game, I'd be like, yeah, this is kind of fun for $5.
Wasn't it only a $10 game and it still sucked?
I mean, it's only a $10 game, but it was still too expensive for $10. And I think the same goes true for Perfect Sniper, which was $15 and had like even less content because you could play through it once and you're done.
If I can say that as a wave shooter or a shooting game, Pixel Gear is way better than your game, you're in trouble. You're in trouble because Pixel Gear goes on sale for $2.
Yep.
And that game is better than Wraith.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it's better than Wraith.
I'm just saying. I wish that. All I'm saying is that I wish that Sin Studios like recognized the quality of their game and priced accordingly. That's what I'm saying. Because I'm not trying to say you should go out and buy any of these games. Because I don't think you really should. There's plenty of better examples for the same price.
And just to be clear here, guys, Perfected Insanity says the new Wraith game looks good. The Wraith game that we're talking about has literally nothing to do with the franchise.
Nothing.
The new Wraith game, it's just the name. They used a word that you can use because it's not copyrighted. But Wraith is in the World of Darkness, totally separate thing, much better looking, not connected in any way, just to be clear.
Right. So anyway, Wraith, let me just finish off my 2 cents about this. This is like the 4th game by Sin Studios, I think.
Yeah.
And this, it's a very, very small team. I think it's basically just Alex Sin over there, like one person, right? And he seems very confident about this game. I want everyone to stay cautiously optimistic because, it looks good, but we'll see what happens. And
I mean, didn't Warzone look good before we got it?
Yeah.
Right? Like we thought this is the same conversation we had before Warzone. We said, "Oh, their past games suck, but this looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like the look of this."
This is my problem.
What happened? We got fucking burned because Warzone was worse than the Perfect Sniper on PSVR. It's their worst game so far because on PSVR it has no multiplayer, which kills the entire concept.
And there's no actual campaign, and that's why we were excited. We're like, oh, a single player campaign is fine, but there's no campaign. It's a multiplayer game
through a giant empty place, and when you do find a guy, he's halfway across the map, and somehow he snipes your brains out before you get anywhere near where the fuck he is.
Right.
It's just really badly done. And so I hope that they can do this. It looks good. The cinematic trailer has some production value behind it, obviously. Even the voice acting actually sounds decent. But, we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. AJ, I've cut you off 3 times. What do you think?
Sorry, AJ. What do you have to say? What's up?
I don't remember at this point. I mean, look,
sorry.
It's a cool arena-based combat game. We don't have a lot like these. I think the only one that we have I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more, but the only one I could think of is like Gorn. But like what you said, I think this game has a really good chance to have a good impact. The gameplay that we've seen so far doesn't look tailored like some of the Warzone stuff was. It was just straight up, this is in-game footage. This is how you picking up, it's got like the extended reach thing where you're picking up weapons and you're battling. There's physics and stuff, making clunky sounds. But yeah, I like the different modes. I like all the variety of weapons. This is similar. This is like what you call almost like Sirento in a way, right? Except instead of Cyberpunk, it's like
can you do backflips?
No,
can you run on the wall? I don't know.
But I mean like arena based combat. Like
Sirento's not even arena based, dude. Sirento has levels that you progress through in a linear way that aren't even arena. It's like you go through here, go through this door.
They're so small though. They feel some of them feel like
it's not an arena though.
You're
it's
right.
Really not.
You're right. But some of them are like straight up just like one level. Like I mean, think of like
there's that one that has like the lava on the ground where it's like one area and you jump from platform to platform. But like most of the game has doors you go through in linear kind of progression. So,
but yeah, I mean, as long as the gameplay feels good, I think there's enough here to justify it. And like you said, from that trailer that you saw like one of the bosses and the swords. There's 4 different bosses in this game, and yeah, you get to defeat these guys, and then you get to get their weapon, like Mega Man. Got to have Mega Man reference somewhere. And
if
yeah,
it's like Mega Man, AJ's gonna like it.
It is like Mega Man, so I will like it.
We'll see how this goes. I'm nervous as hell, right? Because you just say fool me once. Shame on me.
Yeah,
fool
this
me
is
twice,
like this is like fool me 4th time.
Fool me once, twice.
Well, yeah, essentially it is like that. And so since we were talking about Warzone, I don't know if you have this on the Run a Show, AJ, and I'm gonna check to make sure I'm not jumping ahead. But if I am, it's not even on here. I'm gonna insert this real quick. I just played Alvo, which is a game that I felt the same way about before I played it, right? So I got to do the PC beta with my Quest hooked up wirelessly through my PC. And it's going to be good, guys. Like, I can already tell when I have the aim controller in my hands, I'm going to love this game, and you guys are too. It's like somewhere between Honor and Duty and Firewall in terms of like fun and polish level. But it's already almost there. You know what I mean? And with this game, I had a feeling like, I don't know how I feel. It's probably going to suck. And that's kind of how I felt about Alvo, because like it's gone through so much development. Hell, it died for a while. It got resuscitated. You don't expect a lot, but it's actually good. So I guess what I'm saying in the end of this is like, maybe there's hope. Like maybe it's going to be better. Maybe when I play it, I'll be like, okay, cool. They got it this time. They figured it out.
Matthew Longo says this looks cool. Scallywag says Gladiator in VR. I'm on board. That's kind of the word I was trying to think of. It's medieval or it's gladiators, and stuff like that. But instead of cyberpunk, when I was comparing it to, that's why there's no running on walls and backflips and stuff. They didn't do that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But there are like monks and classes. Yeah, there's like monks and barbarians and all this sort of different things.
Yeah. We try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. We are in usually a fortunate situation where we either get to play games before they come out, for review purposes, or, we take the plunge for you. We buy the games so that you don't have to. So let us be the optimistic ones. let us say, oh, hopefully this will be good. And when it's not, well, it's only our time wasted or our money wasted, and hopefully you won't waste your time or money if that ends up being the case. But again, fingers crossed.
Speaking of time wasted, Mr. Musically says, who's instigating a Neuralink question for the next Viewer Takeover? I'm going to put the kibosh on that and say, I don't want to spend any time on Viewer Takeover talking about Elon Musk. That's all I have to say.
All right.
So that game, Swordsman VR, they're aiming for September 10th.
Wow, that's like a week from now. I don't know how.
That's not finalized. But that's what they're aiming for. So if it doesn't happen on September 10th, I think it's going to happen somewhere around that time. But I think it's pretty safe to say it'll probably be this month.
Yeah.
If they're aiming for early September.
I would say if I was a guessing man, if I was a betting man, give it a couple weeks. Give it like 2 weeks. Give it like 2-3 weeks. Give it this month sometime. I agree with AJ.
Yeah,
sometime this
PSVR
month.
has been on such a roll lately. It's so great, man. I can't wait to jump into the next one. Next we have
sorry. I don't mean to derail, but on the last point. No. It's actually on the last point. Real quick before we wrap up. Mm-hmm. As far as Alvo goes,
yes,
this month I'm a little bit uncertain about, because as much as I enjoyed it, it's not like 100% there yet. There's still stages they're building that have like placeholder, images and stuff like that. and also the spawn points and stuff, and the bots are a little funky. There's some bugs in the UI. I don't think they're a week away from releasing it on PSVR, is what I'm saying. I don't think that there's any way it'll happen in a week, and I'd be surprised if it was this month. But I think that that's good because when we get it, it will be polished. I think we could see a beta on PSVR this month. They've been talking about a PSVR beta, and they're already playing on PS4 dev kits. So I think we might see a free-to-play beta open to everybody within this month, but not the final release of the game.
They've officially said it's not coming out this month.
That's
and I would actually, in my head, I would actually push the beta till next month too.
Well,
next
so based on
is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, the beta right now is sort of like for enthusiasts and people who are really into the game and want to help make it good. Like when I played with the full squad, together on Tuesday night, it was like 7 people total. So like, it's not like they have everybody in there testing it right now.
Right.
So I think the PSVR open beta is a little bit of a ways away. You're probably right too. I would say maybe end of September is feasible, but I don't know for sure.
Was hoping, but yeah. I'm glad. I actually originally had Elvo in here because I thought maybe we could see the beta this month, but then I decided to take it out just because we don't have anything concrete yet.
Yeah, I don't know, Brian, if you have. A good time to roll it would have been 5 minutes ago, but you probably don't have that footage. Oh, I'd never even posted it on YouTube. Never mind.
Let's see here.
What's our next game on the September release calendar list?
So we had. No. I'm glad you brought up Albo. Actually,
that was the one thing I wanted to talk about this week because I did spend probably 3 hours total playing it. Yeah, and it's fun. It's going to be great with the end controller. I think you guys will really enjoy it.
So can't wait.
Yeah.
So Mortal Blitz had a beta last month. And we don't get betas too often, so that was pretty cool. And this is a free to play game that's coming out. What did you guys think of the beta? So the full release is set to be in September, is what they said. They said there's going to be a beta in August, and the full release of the free to play game would be in September, which is this month.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like they should have just released the game. Honestly, for a free-to-play thing like this, do you need a beta? It's going to be free-to-play when it comes out. Let it just be free-to-play, and people say, hey, this was broken, and they fix it. It's free, so how much can you really complain at the end of the day? And I don't see, having played it, what they're going to change or improve. It works. There's not a whole lot of... But there's not a whole lot of bugs or anything, right? It works.
That's not necessarily true. There kind of was. I actually agree with the beta because there were some issues like that. There was there were some matches that got disconnected and stuff. I was trying to play with that guy as well a bunch, and it kept saying an error occurred. So I think maybe that's what they were doing, stress testing, stuff like that. But that
makes sense for the servers, to have issues. Okay, that's probably why they did it. Yeah.
I actually enjoyed this game. I don't know, I need to see more variety, more modes and stuff. But for what it is, I actually did enjoy my time with this when I played it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to beat free and also multiplayer. I think with friends would be better because there's not a private matchmaking thing in the beta, right? You just go into a random match and you hope you get with your friends, right?
Perfect. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, they don't have an actual matchmaking thing where you can party up with your friends and go in together, do they?
No.
I don't think there was yeah, they didn't in the beta, but they only had the quick match thing and some unlocks as well.
So that's a huge thing I'd like to see, because like that makes the game playable for us as a community. Like we can be like, hey guys, it's Mortal Blitz night. Let's get together in Discord and set up a party, and we'll do 4 or 8 or however many players you can do. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, you couldn't even stay with the party you found randomly, right?
Because it resets every time. You got to go back and create a new lobby every time. Yeah, no, the multiplayer interface is busted, I think, currently. And I hope that that's something that changes from the beta to the final release.
Yeah.
But that's coming this month, the actual release, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about it.
Yes.
We have a date or no?
No, just this month.
Okay, cool.
I really hope. I mean, I've got a bunch of hopes for this game. First is that I found the teleportation mechanic to be fine. Like, I don't need a game with full locomotion. You know, I understand what this game is doing, and I think it does it. You know, the concept works. But there was something about that mechanic that, like, just it wasn't registering the teleport when I needed it to the most. Which means that if I was panicking and not doing something quite right, like if I wasn't looking in the right direction or wasn't quite aiming at the right direction, there needs to be a little more leeway so that I can be like, oh man, I'm getting slammed from over here. I need to teleport. I need to be able to just go while I'm defending myself. I need to be able to teleport into safety without having to be like, am I looking in the exact right place? Am I aiming in the exact right place? I need to be able to bounce around this battlefield a little bit easier. And the second part is, we just need more battlefields, because the one map was okay, but it felt like such a training level where it was like, okay, here's what we want to do with this game. Here's a concept with a bunch of hexes all over the place, but it wasn't particularly interesting. I want to see what they can do with some map variety.
Yeah, and I think to your first point, I hope that they look at something like Tower Tag, which is a PC VR game, but a lot of people in our community have played it because they were giving out free codes, and we all played it together. And the concept is exactly the same concept. You have different nodes that you teleport between, and each one has a shield, and you're shooting at each other from different spaces. It's the same concept 100,000%. But the teleport mechanic feels a lot more smooth. You point at a place and you have like a lasso, like an electric lasso almost, and you can see where it's going. And as soon as you release the stick, you're there. You know what I mean? And it sounds like, from what a lot of people I heard with this beta, is that the teleporting felt really clunky and slow, and it was unreliable, and you couldn't really figure out how it was supposed to work. And I think that in a game like this, that's the thing they have to fix. Because, like, if teleporting felt smooth and easy, then it would be kind of a fun, like, oh, I'll hop here, and then I'll shoot it from this angle, and I'll hop here. But if you're about to die and you can't get the fucking teleport to work, that's just frustrating, and it makes you not want to play the game anymore. Even if it's free, you're just going to be like, well, that was stupid. I don't like this game. Later, I'll play something else. So I hope that they fix that.
Sorry,
everyone's tuned out. Everyone's totally tuned out.
Sorry, no. Kramer 3K said that his viewer takeover videos are too weird to be used. And I was like, did we miss?
Oh, really? We've used a bunch of weird ones. We've used some of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Right.
Like Joe Grover's with his eyes getting all... That was unsettling. I had nightmares about Joe Grover for days.
So my question is, if anybody out there sent a viewer takeover introduction that they feel like has been way too long and they haven't seen it yet, please let me know. Send me another email and remind me, or send it again, because I'm starting to get really caught up. There's only a couple left in the queue, and I'm getting nervous that I missed because I'm super disorganized, and not everyone even puts the words viewer takeover in the subject line of their email. And so I'm like, I have to search through my emails for viewer takeover, and not all of them show up. So, Trevor, you missed the news about Albo, man. You missed the news about Albo. Thanks for showing up. All right. Moving along, guys. Moving along.
We also are supposed to be getting the Operencia, the Stolen Sun update. This is probably my second most anticipated of the month that I know of so far, because I want that old school dungeon crawling RPG. I've been sitting on this game. It's been on sale. I don't know if it's still on sale. It was on sale recently, though.
I can check for you.
But if it's still on sale, I mean, I think
to the 10th, if I remember correctly.
To the 10th.
I think so. Another week. Let me check them.
Another week. So maybe try holding out last second. But yeah, I am dying for this VR update to this game. The gameplay was a lot of fun. It is turn-based, but it looks stunning, and it's got just a really cool atmosphere, good storytelling, good dialogue, stuff like that. And for turn-based, I really like the combat as well. Lots of strategy.
Currently still on sale for $18. Yes, indeed.
Nice.
Excellent. And this is the thing we don't have in VR yet. Plus, what AJ didn't mention is that it's a 20 to 30 hour campaign. So that's huge in itself, because how many 20 to 30 hour campaigns do we get? Very few.
For $18.
Yeah, for $18. And also, Zen Studios is a money studio. They have money. They make all the pinball games. They've got cash. It's going to be polished, and it's probably going to look pretty good because Pinball FX VR looks good, and because Castle Storm looks good. They can make VR look pretty goddamn good. So taking what exists, what I've seen from the flat screen version, and importing that, flipping the switch, Uncle Larry, whoever flips the switch. Who is it? Uncle Larry.
Lloyd in the basement.
In the basement.
I don't think he's got any relation to anybody though. He's not related
Uncle
to
Larry,
us.
I think, works at Nintendo. Lloyd is in the basement. But yeah, once they flip that switch, I think it's going to be in our top 25 list. This is just a guess, but I think it's going to be in our top 25.
Wow, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
It's a 20 to 30 hour classic dungeon crawling game by a studio that actually has a budget. Like, yeah, that could easily be top 25. We'll see when it gets here, but yeah.
I really, really hope so. My concern was that that it wasn't going to really add anything. Like, I mean, we just had this conversation about Resident Evil 7 about it not being really VR, but of course it is. But there is something very much that Zen Studios does to their non-VR games where they do flip the switch and then they don't really go much further with it, right? So it is like, oh, I am playing a non-VR game but in VR, and now I can look around. But there's still like this stuff like just doesn't. Like where Resident Evil 7 put head tracking on, and you're like, being able to look around and use that for your aiming. That's so cool, and it works really well in VR. And it makes it feel great. Whereas like Zen is like, oh, it's the exact same controls, and you're hitting, you're tapping X, and yeah.
The only way I'll disagree with you is that I think Pinball FX VR does add something specifically VR that makes it cool, because like as you do stuff in the level, the world around you changes. And like, say you're playing Jaws, right? There's a shark swimming under your feet if you look down, and he like comes up and snaps at you. That stuff is really cool and does make very good use of VR. But Infinite Mini Golf totally didn't, and Castle Storm didn't.
The difference between
but what I'm saying is that they have the ability to do it.
They do have the ability.
Effects, it's good in Pinball Effects. So I think if they bring something like that to this game, where it just like brings you in a little extra. But I think if you're in this kind of fantastical world, there's probably going to be like, trees swinging in the distance and like particle effects and wind blowing and stuff like that. Like, you're in this world, right? AJ, you play flat screen. What does it look like?
It's stunning flat screen.
Okay, it's probably going to look great. I think it's going to look very good.
Well, just to clarify, Dave, the difference between like Pinball FX2 VR is that that's a separate title. That's not just, oh, here's your Pinball FX game, and they give you a free patch. That is a separate VR game. With things like Infinite Mini Golf, we're certainly
Castle Storm is a standalone VR game too. Castle Storm VR is what it's called. You have to buy it.
Right, and even that, looking at it from that perspective, is like pretty underwhelming, because it's basically the Castle Storm game up on a stage, and you're sitting in the theater, and you're kind of playing it very much a 2D game, sitting in a 3D theater. And so even there, where they charged you for another version, wasn't terribly impressive. I think Zen does a great job, but I just hope that they kind of push the limits of what they're used to doing in this one.
Yeah. I'm a little biased because I've just given them a bunch of money for pinball tables. My other should we this week is Pinball. I think I said that before.
Top 25 game I hear.
Pinball. Yeah. It's so good. Pinball is so good.
Yeah, definitely top 25. Shout out to Alex the Met, $2 donation, saying, Fortnite makes enough they could add VR mode on PlayStation 5. I mean, these are the kind of things we talk about when we're talking about like mass market appeal. Like when I say Madden should have VR. I'm like, I don't care about Madden. I'm not interested in playing Madden at all. But something like Fortnite or PUBG, these games should have VR support. They're pretty simple games, pretty basic games. There's no reason to not have that. And hopefully next gen we'll see that.
If you like Battle Royale stuff, make sure you go check out Rec Royale in Rec Room. Rec Room is free. Download that and go play Rec Royale. It's actually a lot of fun. I don't even like Battle Royale games, but that was fun.
For sure, that was good.
And somebody please make my dream Battle Royale game in Dreams. I've described it before, but it's a single-player Battle Royale based on the film. And somebody take this idea. I'll talk to you more about it if you want, because I got all kinds of ideas.
Elbert with the $5 donation saying, last week we had 20 cats in Honor and Duty. Can we make it 21 tonight? Honor and Duty hype. Thank you so much for the $5 donation, Elbert. Yes. Thank you so much for giving me a reason to cut David off.
Hey, but what I was saying,
I like his idea.
More tips. We
Are
need more
you guys
tips.
ready
Hurry
to
up.
talk about
more tips, everybody.
more tips? More
Dude,
tips.
I
more
would love
tips.
if the paradigm became that people tip to shut me up.
All
That
right,
would be
we
great.
got to keep moving.
Damn, I just tried to tip. It wouldn't let me.
2 more games, and then and we got a sale we got to go through. So,
all right, let's move.
Then the Operencia, really hope to see this update very soon.
Yes.
I agree with you, Brian, that they probably will just port it into VR. Won't have any VR like
frills.
immersive controls, anything like that. It would be nice if they
Depth to it, right?
if
Like
they do that.
There'll be depth in 3D to the creatures in front of you
Absolutely.
on the turn-based
It'll still-
and like the
it'll still be
background.
good.
This is my stance.
Visually,
this
I think
is my
it'll look
stance
nice.
on these kinds of things, guys. I do not think a game has to have move support to be in VR or be considered a VR game. But
Why do you need move support for a turn-based RPG?
But-
Anyways, you fucking assholes.
Wow.
But I'm
saying, I'm tired of these people who won't buy a game unless it has move
The views of
support.
Dave Station VR do not reflect the views of Without Parole PSVR.
So
Unsubscribe to Dave. Don't unsubscribe to him.
I'm creating more trolls by the day.
I just want to add that if a game does have VR move support or aim support or whatever and does it well, I will give that game a higher rating, or at least in that regard, I will say that is better to have move support and immersive controls, immersive interactions. That is better than DualShock 4.
But you got to keep the game in mind because, like, Astrobot, I don't want to play that with a fucking
hell
move
no.
controller.
No.
So, like, it depends on the context entirely.
It
There
does.
is no, sort of. You can't just say, if it doesn't have move support, I won't buy it. That's a silly ass perspective.
No,
But I see people
but
say
I'm
that on
I
stuff.
that is
Just
one
like,
of the reasons.
what
You
are
know,
talking
when Brian says Resident Evil 7 is the best game, and I'm like, well, I think Saints and Sinners is the best game because Saints and Sinners does have move support, does have this immersive interactivity with it. So that's what really the moves are literally probably some of the other features too are like literally the only thing keeping me with Saints and Sinners above Resident Evil. It's like this close, man.
Well,
But
so-
that's
You know what Saints and
I
Sinners
think
can
what you
do?
have to.
Can
Oh,
suck it.
sorry. Can I say this? Can I say this real quick? I think that the difference is that there's something you can do as far as the depth of the game with the DualShock 4 that currently you can't do with the move controllers. I'm going to say, for instance, Resident Evil 7 versus Saints and Sinners, which I rated Saints and Sinners as a better game. But Resident Evil 7, all the inventory management and all the, like, oh, I picked up this key. What do I do with this?
That
all
all
this
feels
stuff.
good.
I would much rather do that with the DualShock 4 than I would with the move controller. Most games don't get that right if they have that sort of level of. So Skyrim, for instance, like doesn't get that right with the move controllers.
I do like Skyrim. That's just you, man.
No, it's not just me. The move controllers are bad.
You need to find another game because you even tried to say that to Mark from SDI, and he shot you down and made you look like a fool.
Whoa,
dude! Skyrim is amazing with the move controllers. You can fight me all day about it, but you're wrong. You got to find you find another game to bully
with the move controllers.
Oh yeah.
Should we talk about
that's
Hitman?
a good one.
Should we talk about Hitman in the the IO interactive fucking stream that happened?
I will let you know when I play Hitman if they succeeded or not. It still needs.
Just Incredible says the mob cannot be appeased.
The mob. I love this mob.
This is great. The best mob ever.
Oh man.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, so
we gotta get into the sale soon because we're hitting in 2.5 hours here.
Yep.
All right.
So another game
show
coming out this
barely
month
anything
is Budget Cuts, which is a really, really popular PC VR game. Supposedly, we're getting the best version with PSVR, and I'm really excited. We've been waiting for this for a long time. It's been delayed several times. Hopefully, it doesn't get delayed again. Stealth, baby. Stealth is so good in VR, and that is the number one reason I can't wait to play this.
Now, I want to say before, just to go in on the last thing we were talking about, this game is teleport only, but by design.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be teleport only because when you throw your little teleport thing, it pops open a portal, and you can see through the portal. and see where the fucking dude is, right?
People are still gonna bitch about it.
Oh yeah.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna bitch about it, but what I'm saying is it's part of the gameplay mechanic. Is what you do. You throw the thing down, you survey the area by popping your head around, looking through your portal, and then you go there. And that's actually a pretty cool mechanic. I've played this on PC, and
even on PC, it was teleport only.
It's teleport only because that's the way the game is designed.
Right.
So,
it sounds like it's done well.
Nobody get up in arms about, oh, I can't smooth loco. You don't want a smooth loco. It's not supposed to be smooth loco. That's not how it's designed. That's like saying I want to play static with the move controllers. You can't. It's not supposed to be like that. Just don't ask for it.
Did you just coin the phrase smooth loco?
Smooth loco is been said.
Don't you know I'm smooth loco?
Smooth loco.
So I talked to
Kramer.
Yeah.
Kramer tip.
Oh hey.
AJ.
Kramer 3K with the 5 donations says, "Shut the frick up, Dave. Better late than never. Wink."
So
Nice.
only by tipping will you get me to shut up.
This is a powerful and also very scary territory we've wandered into.
Everyone's just gonna start donating a bunch of shit at Dave.
That's also true. I did an interview this week, just a couple days ago, with Linnea Harrison, the creative director over at Neat Corporation, the developers behind Budget Cuts, and it was a fantastic interview. She was awesome. There was not a question she strayed away from. My favorite question, I will spoil one question and answer from the question and answer segment. I said, convince everyone who's still on the fence about budget cuts that they should buy Budget Cuts. And she said, "It's Budget Cuts." I said, "That's a fantastic answer," and we moved on.
Wait, so didn't you already just interview somebody? Oh, they're Budget Cuts too, about Wraith. Okay, Fast Travel.
Fast Travel, worked with them on the sequel for sure.
Yep,
so,
got it.
So look forward to that interview soon. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to get some exclusive footage from the PSVR version or what's going to happen leading up to that. So hope that interview could be on the channel as early as this week, but we might hold off a little bit just to make it a little more special for you guys, for the 3% of our subscribers that actually watch the interviews. What's wrong with you guys? What's going on? Why don't you like the interviews? I don't get it. All right, Budget Cuts. Obviously, very much a yay. We're all very excited for that.
There is so much hype behind this game. I get a lot of comments about this game just from the PC side. So they obviously were very successful on the PC side, even with some of the bugs and issues they had. I get lots of comments about this game. So
Same.
I don't hear it as much as I did before, but I still feel like there's a lot of people that have interest in this. They're just, they're not shouting it from the rooftops anymore. But I think I hope this port is done well, and I hope that it is successful as it, at least if not more than it was on PC.
On every episode of PSVR this week, I get comments from people saying, "What about Budget Cuts? Where's Budget Cuts? What's happening with Budget?" So people are out there and they're still interested. So hopefully they're paying attention because it's coming very, very soon this month. Poof. So exciting. So exciting.
This month.
When is Gorn coming out then?
I don't know, man. That game keeps getting delayed. Who the fuck knows? Did we even
finally
talk about the Gorn announcement? That wasn't an announcement?
Nah.
It's probably coming to Quest. That's all. Okay, moving along.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, the big game of the month, the biggest game, I should say. These are all we've been looking very much forward to, but the big game is The Walking Dead Onslaught, which everybody's been asking about and everybody seems really excited about. And we are going to get a little bit into it and talk about it now.
So let's get this stuff out of the way first, right? The big question on everybody's mind is this going to be different enough, or is this going to be good enough to compete with The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners? And in my head, my quick answer to that question is, if it's doing something different enough, it doesn't have to compete. Right. And all I care about is that this feels different enough from Saints and Sinners that it's going to feel like an entirely different experience. And I'm going to go, you know what? This gave me some of the things that Saints and Sinners didn't. And Saints and Sinners gave me some stuff that this didn't. And as long as they're different enough, I'm going to be very, very happy to get 2 Walking Dead games within months of each other.
I don't think there's a shortage in Walking Dead fans. And I think people will appreciate Saints and Sinners because, A, it's a fantastic game and it's based on the comic. and B, this one was supposed to have multiplayer, and that was a big disappointment to everybody that they took out the multiplayer. However, this is based on the characters in the show that people have spent years connecting with and years like wanting to experience kind of through their eyes what this world could be like. And I think for that reason alone, I think this game has a great chance of being successful unless it's just god awful. And it's Servio's, and guess what? Servio's does not make god awful games.
Yeah, they sometimes make mediocre games like Battle Lake.
At worst.
Yeah, that's the worst they've ever done. Here's what I'll say. I was accused of taking the shows hostage, which is fine. I'll say you're probably right. But all I'll say on this point is what Scallywag says in the chat, and I think this really sums up the entire audience reaction to this game. He says, I'm not changing a thing. He says, Onslaught, I want to be Daryl. And I think that is essentially what everybody feels like. Oh, yeah. Onslaught, I want to be Daryl. You know what I mean? Like, that's the cool part about it. Because like AJ said, people have such a connection with these characters that I think over the years you've always wanted to play as them in a good video game.
Yeah.
And, Saints and Sinners is interesting because like the Telltale games being based on the comic book, it was actually a good game. But there has not been a game based on the TV show that was actually good. So if they pull that off, or even decent, if it's just decent, I'll be cool with that. I just hope that they replace the multiplayer concept with an actual strong storyline,
right?
Kind of campaign, because Saints and Sinners did that, but like, I'd like to see their take on it from the TV show. Like, what's Carol's story? If I play as Carol, what happens in the game? Is that different than Daryl's story? Does anything change? Like, what's the point of me being a different character? How much does that affect?
They do have different weapons. There are a couple different things. There's over 24 realistic weapons. It says discover a robust arsenal of 24 weapons. I'm sorry, a robust arsenal of 24 weapons with realistic handling and a variety of modifications to fine-tune and suit your combat style. So
here's my question. How many unrealistic weapons do they have?
I don't think there's any. I think this is very much going for realism.
I want a BFG. Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, no.
BFG.
But yeah, and then you do get to play as different characters as well.
What I'd like to see for sure, like confirmed, is that all of these characters have different voice lines throughout the campaign. So Absolutely. Like if I play as Daryl, I want to know that the voice actor is the real guy and that he's speaking lines throughout the entire game instead of like bringing in some, impersonator or
right.
like.
I don't think they'll do that.
I hope they don't, because I've already seen Norman Reedus promoting this game, but I haven't seen Carol and I haven't seen, Rick and all these people, Michonne talking about it. So I hope they get the actual cast and that they kind of incorporate that into like the gameplay, because if that's the draw of the game, playing as these characters that you love, they better incorporate that into the story to like a reasonable degree. Like, I better feel like I'm Michonne when my character responds to somebody.
And just to be clear, you do get to play. So there's 4 different characters. You get to play as Rick, Daryl, Michonne, and Carol. So those are Carol's really good characters to play as.
Carol's such a badass.
I like all of those characters. Carols.
Yeah. Mason says they're only doing that for Rick and Michonne. I think they are the voice actors. So there's a chance maybe Carol and... No, Daryl is definitely the real guy. There will not be a Daryl knockoff. He's promoting the game himself. Like, their whole reveal, their last show off was just him in a dark room talking about the game. So.
So I keep looking at this PR, like this press release. That's it says what AJ already said, of course. But you play these characters in an effort to upgrade their gear, as well as the Alexandria safe zone. Resources and equipment scavenged while in the field can be used to modify and upgrade weapons, unlock new quests, and ultimately rebuild a community ravaged by war. So, I mean, I'm getting the impression that there's that's like some kind of base building mechanic. to like if you're going to rebuild the community, which I
Restore
find
the camp, yeah.
yeah, which is something that I really did want from Saints and Sinners. And so if this is all happening in Onslaught, then this is exactly how we started this conversation off, being like, oh, this is kind of filling in the blanks that Saints and Sinners didn't give me, which is really nice. Big fan.
What is up, Todd, my dude? I think you can pre-order. So Onslaught does have a physical version, and I think you can pre-order it as of right now. And they also do have the pre-order bonuses, which are just okay. But yeah, it is up for pre-order right now. If you need a link, let me know and I'll send you one.
Yeah, it's so the only problem with the physical version is that it comes out, and it sucks for Parp that this keeps happening, but it comes out like a couple weeks later than the digital.
I think it's
version.
just a couple days. It's October. The physical version comes out October 2nd. The game, when does the game come out?
The 29th?
29th?
Is it
Yeah.
really the 2nd? That's
Just-
awesome.
Yeah, it's just the 2nd, just a couple days.
Nice.
We have a $2.99 tip from K-Panic, the artist formerly known as GameCat, once again, who says one word, Carl! That's from the show. It's yelling Carl's name.
Yes,
That's
it
his
is.
kid.
I think
feel
it's gonna
bad
be good
for-
though,
I
man.
feel bad for Carl, man. He got shot in the eye. He doesn't have an eye at all.
I know the gameplay should be good. I just hope that it's like deep enough, replayable enough. Needs to be just more than just like 3-4 hours long. That's all I ask.
And that's my thing too about the different characters. Like, I want it to be a slightly different experience if I play as Michonne versus Rick versus Carl, or Daryl or whatever, Carol. So I hope that there's a reason to go back and play as these different characters, other than like, oh, I get a crossbow versus a knife or something. Like, I don't want it to just be about the weapons. I want their characters to matter in the story, because if it doesn't do that, it's not going to reach the level that it needs to, I think.
Well, it does say there's a campaign story. It says there's a campaign story, and it says play as Daryl Dixon through an original campaign story about a supply run gone wrong.
Wait, are you kidding? The only campaign is Daryl's campaign, and you can't play the campaign as Michonne, Rick, or Carol? That's actually huge. That's fucking huge. If you can't have a campaign as either of those other characters, and you just play like challenge modes or arcade modes,
well, scavenging is when you switch to the other characters, right?
That's what it kind of sounds like, but it does say
that part of the campaign, like you're doing the campaign as Daryl, and then he's like, "Hey, Carol, go scavenge." But what that says to me is that Carol doesn't have unique story beats. Michonne doesn't have unique story beats. This is entirely centered around Daryl, which is cool, I guess. I like him as a character, but also I like Carol way more than Daryl, dude. Like, and I'd rather see some story bits with her in it. And it sounds like if this is the way it's set up, I'm going to be a little disappointed with the campaign. And I'm done with my Dave rant, Donatello. Sorry.
I just don't know for sure. I just don't know for sure that what it's going to be, because there is like a Rick Grimes skin and stuff like that. So I think they've got to have them involved heavily in some point, but we don't really know.
Just to clarify, we're talking about the release date. October 2nd is for European release physically, but if you're in North America, then it's October 13th for the physical release. And that's where my confusion was, where I thought it was a lot later, because it is a lot later. Unfortunately, it's 2 weeks later in North America. Yeah. Europe, you're pretty close. You're really, really close.
Definitely going digital. But yeah, really excited for this. I really hope it turns out well, because I would love to see all these Walking Dead games just be amazing for VR. And I want this to be good. I really want this to be good. Yeah. And I really want another great game from Survios. I really want to see what Survios, when they're pushed to be their best, how good they can deliver.
I just want to say real quick, Jack's Bogus Journey in the chat said, if you love Carol so much, why don't you marry her? I fucking would in a second, dude. I don't care if she's older than me. I don't care if she's had a hard life. Carol is a dime. She's a 10 out of 10. Carol is fucking awesome.
I mean, the problem with that is that she also has to say yes. That's how marriage works. It's not just why don't you marry her? Well, I can say yes, but she has to also say yes.
She'd probably slit my throat pretty quickly, I think, knowing Carol.
Hell yeah, man. So September is looking like Swordsman VR, Mortal Blitz Combat Arena, Operencia The Stolen Sun, Budget Cuts, and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Onslaught. I'd like to throw in that there are some rumors from David Ahmad, who's actually pretty reliable, who believes that there's going to be more announcements this month, possibly like a Sony event or something. So that will be interesting. At first I was like, I don't know where all these rumors are coming from. I don't like it. I don't know, these need sources. And then when I saw it came from him, I was like, okay, maybe there is some good announcements this week. We're still waiting on PS5 to announce the price and for the pre-orders to go live.
I'm assuming that when that pre-order price thing happens from Sony, that is not just going to be the only thing they talk about that day. It's going to be a bunch of other games, a bunch of other PlayStation 5 games. And I mean, I don't know when they're going to finally start talking about VR on PlayStation 5, but I hope that's also the time they do it. Who knows, though? At this point,
they will at some point, man. They will at some point.
Well, they have to at some point.
But I think they're going to kind of continue to do what they're doing right now, which is releasing games, releasing big games, releasing small games, and just continue to feed and build the ecosystem for PSVR. And then I really think like once PSVR 2 is ready, as I saw somebody asking in the chat anything about PSVR 2, I think they're going to go heavy on the marketing once that drops. But for now, we're just going to keep doing what they're doing. If we keep getting games like this, like Squadrons and all this stuff, all these great games, I don't care. I can wait 6 months or whatever, 7 months to hear something.
6 months.
You know what? I would love to see on PS5. So all the PSVR marketing that you've seen so far, right, doesn't really show you any gameplay of any game. It's like this fantastical version of what putting a VR headset on is like. They're not showing you what Honor and Duty looks like. Not Honor and Duty. That's a bad example. Blood and Truth. They're not showing you this stuff. It's just like a guy puts on a thing and then he's in like a gas station parking lot and explodes or something. Like, it's not a real game. When PS5 hits, I think that they'll be able to shed that sort of like aversion to showing off the games, because they'll be able to say, look how fucking good this looks. Like a Call of Duty game doesn't avoid showing you the gameplay. It shows you the game. It's like, look how cool this looks. So I think when we get to PS5, we'll start seeing that in their marketing, where it's like, hey, it's not just some nondescript guy in a sort of VR headset doing something random. This is games. Look at that shit. Do you want to play that? It's there. Just go buy it.
Right.
So
I think still have a lot of PS5 features to see. We haven't even seen the share button yet, or the create button. We haven't seen the create button. We haven't seen the UI to the full extent yet. We don't know all the features that it has. So I feel like we'll be getting more VR features and stuff shown after they at least start showing it off casually. I don't even need it to be some huge event with these huge VR reveals. Like, just give me some PS5 news or like PS5 VR news and stuff, and we'll be good.
One thing worth mentioning real quick, sorry. Gamer Chick, Tiffany, says, I thought Norman was the only voice actor from the show. She actually has worked with Servios on this game, and if she says that, she's probably right. So I wouldn't be surprised, because like I said, I haven't seen Rick promote it. I haven't seen Michonne promote it. I haven't seen Carol promote it. I've only seen Norman Reedus.
I think that's all you need to sell the game.
Yeah, probably.
Well, for me, I want to see a little.
Of course, you want to see more.
Shout out to Scott Jesko, $5 donation. So shout out to future Scott Jesko, because he's at work. PSN Harry Fella still at work. What do you guys think will be the better game, Saints and Sinners or Onslaught? Hashtag PSVR GameCap for life. Thank you so much, future Scott Jesko. I think Saints and Sinners is still.
My money's on Saints and Sinners. I feel like it's going to just be better. Servios makes solid games. Servios makes good games,
but not top 20.
Occasionally, almost excellent. But I think Skydance is a better studio. I don't know. I think Skydance makes better games.
They're deeper games. They're games for gamers. Like, they're games. I think Servios makes some amazing arcade games. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about a company that has 2 games, and one of them is our number 1 in our top 25 list. And then you have a company that has like 3 or 4 games, and they're not even on the list.
And arguably, Archangel could be on a top 30 list if you're feeling fancy, because that's not a bad game. For $20,
yeah,
yes.
I still wouldn't put it above like Sprint Vector.
Oh, I would put Archangel above
Sprint
Raw
Vector?
Data. Above Raw Data on PSVR.
Wow.
Yeah.
Raw Data and Sprint Vector are two that I always go, man, how come these aren't making our top 20 list? And then I look at the top 20 and go, oh man, that's why, because there's so many. Exactly.
Top 20 is freaking
but
hard.
top 50 I think would be amazing, because top 50 would actually showcase like at least 2, maybe 3 Survios games. Because that's the level they're developing at. They're making games much faster. But again, as you said, they're not terribly deep.
I will never consent to a top 50 list, because that sounds like a nightmarish 8-hour.
Oh, it's happening.
Oh, good. That's
happening.
Such a relief that you're not going to be part of it, so that I can get all the games that I want on my list. Yes. One less person to fight. One less person to fight. I'm pretending to box. Look at me pretending to box.
I don't want to be on camera for 8 hours. Who wants to be on camera for 8 hours?
Well, if we have to, we'll do it in a 2-parter like we did that one time. We can always do it in a 2-parter. That one we'll probably have to do a 2-parter. So finally, guys, so that is it for the news, for all the releases, for everything we're going to be keeping an eye out. But there is currently a sale going on. Brand new games have popped up. And as always, we are going to be doing the PSVR's Got Talent judges. 3 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down, completely divided.
PSVR dollar store. This is the PSVR dollar store. Not everything's actually $1, but it's on sale. It's cheap.
So, through these games, and also, guys, help us out here. We want to know your opinions as well. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to go against the grain.
You know they're not.
If you like these games or don't like them, make sure to show some support for them or shoot them down with a thumbs up and thumbs down. We want to get your opinions too. The first game is Thumper for $5.99.
Thumper says thumbs up, thumbs up.
I feel like there's not even a conversation that needs to be had. This game is just fantastic.
Let's continue. It's great.
Well, I will say real quick, I just did a top 5 rhythm games on for PSVR. Thumper was number 3.
Tell us the other 4 so we don't have to watch the video.
What?
Tell us the other 4 so we don't have to watch the video.
No.
Box VR was number 5.
I was kidding, but okay.
Airtone was number 4. And then Thumper was number 3. Pistol Whip was number 2. Beat Saber was number 1.
Everybody, as a follow-up, go subscribe to PSVR Underground and watch the video.
Yeah.
But Thumper is one that also gets mentioned. People always are like, why not? Why isn't this on the top 20? And I actually, when you told me asked for an honorable mention, I actually mentioned Thumper as an honorable mention, and you didn't put it on there, and I was disappointed.
Ooh, yeah. Brian cuts out all my good jokes from the script too.
You're welcome, everybody.
All right.
You're welcome.
that Panic joke.
K-Panic, the artist formerly known as GameCat, with a $2.99 donation, says RIP PS4 top 50 PSVR games.
Oh, please. Like Dave has any say around here. Don't you worry about a thing. We got you covered.
We are.
Sorry, we'll get that guy as Will to take your spot.
This without me already?
Only 100 times on the show. We said we finish off the PlayStation VR life cycle with the top 50
It's going to be like, it's like once PSVR's life cycle is done, PSVR 1.
Oh, it's a one-time thing.
Oh, yeah. It's
we're not just switching over.
I'll do it one time. Yeah. I thought you were talking about like every 3 months. I was
it's like the list.
Dude, I wouldn't even edit that. That would be a nightmare. It's already a nightmare. It's like a 12-hour edit session. I don't want to do that.
That's what I'm saying. It's a nightmare to be on the show, too.
So the next game for sale, that was, by the way, 3 thumbs up, like 6 thumbs up from us. I think we all gave it 2 thumbs up. Thumper is an absolute must-have. Go play it. If not, go play the demo. Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown for $28.04.
It's been on sale for cheaper, hasn't it? Wasn't it 21?
I thought it was cheaper, which is why I would say
maybe wait for a better sale. But if you have a HOTUS already, buy it.
Then yes,
$28.99. If you don't have a HOTUS, wait.
Just wait,
and buy it later.
Cheaper.
But also in the meantime, buy HOTUS.
It is amazing, man. It is still one of my favorite, if not my favorite, experiences on PSVR. But
Brian, everyone always asks what a HOTUS is. Do you have an image handy to just plaster over the entire screen to show people?
It's a flight stick. We don't need it. We don't. Oh, there's the image.
AJ's got it.
He's got it plastered all over the screen.
JPEG right here.
Thrustmaster kind of sounds like a fleshlight or something, but it's a pretty good company.
Thrustmaster.
unfortunately, just like every other consumer electronic now, these used to be really cheap, and now they're super hard to find and they're
Are
expensive.
they?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Somebody
Holy crap.
told me. No, somebody in the Discord was saying,
Oh, well, if someone
like,
told
"Oh,
you.
dude, I can find one. It's really expensive now."
Well, if someone told
which
you,
is
it
like,
must be true. It's like the internet. Everything.
Brian,
What? Yes, David.
don't question my sources.
Yes, David.
What is this, Wikipedia?
Dreams is $29.99.
Pretty good.
Yeah, this game is amazing, man. I've been absolutely loving it. You know, I know a lot of people say, well, it's only good if you create games. It is definitely better if you like to create games or learn the tools, because then you can just kind of freely do whatever you want.
Well, here's what I think. I think it's better if you just have friends like AJ who make cool shit and Wargarble. And I'm just sitting here waiting for Wargarble and AJ to publish some stuff, and then I get to play it. And I don't even have to get off my ass and look at a tutorial. I just get to enjoy what these people are doing. And so I think even if you're not creating, it's a must-have regardless. There's already enough stuff
so too.
that is VR compatible that's worth $30. Like if you know HeroCade, right? HeroCade is 5 games where 4 of them suck, and it's $10, right? There are at least like 15 cool ass things to play in this. And there's going to be more every day, every month, every year. You know, like people are just starting with this VR implementation. So, end Dave rant. Sorry about the Dave rant. But yeah, buy Dreams. You have to buy Dreams.
Dreams are absolute must have, even like Dave said, even if you're not creating stuff. But I will say creating shit is next level. It becomes so fun and addicting that it is, like Donatello says, creating is fun, frustrating. It can be frustrating, but it's also so addicting, so rewarding, and creating games is almost like a game itself, that in the end you get to play the game, and it just keeps going. And I stay up every time I get hooked on Dreams. I stay up to like 4 a.m. Big freaking 2 thumbs up for me for Dreams.
What say ye, Brian?
Ace Combat, I would say.
Dreams.
I would say. Oh, I didn't get to vote on Ace. I didn't get to vote on Ace. I didn't get to vote on Ace Combat. I thought I was just playing catch up.
Moved along without you. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I just thought Dave's opinion counts as 2 now.
Did you not hear us? Did you not hear us talking about Dreams for like the last 10 minutes?
No, I'm more than happy.
Retroactively telling us what he thought about that.
I'm more than happy to listen to you guys talk about Dreams for 10 minutes. I will certainly give my opinion.
I'll talk about it for 30 minutes if you want, but not at 9 p.m. after we started at 6.
So yeah, no, obviously
Dreams is cool. Let's move on.
Yeah. All right.
No one wants to hear what you have to think, Brian.
Next game.
Damn. Next game is Rise of the Tomb Raider for $7.49. This has a small VR mode. This was also a free Plus game. If you didn't get it up for PS Plus, then you missed your chance, because I'm saying no. You should have gotten this on Plus for free when you had your chance.
Otherwise, if you like flat screen Tomb Raider games, that's a great price for this flat screen Tomb Raider game. But as a VR thing, I didn't like the VR component enough to rate it a thumbs up for $7.50 even. So if you're just there for the VR, nah. You also have to play the regular game to unlock the VR, which is a pain in the ass. So thumbs down.
Sorry, Wargarble, you did miss the Dream Shop. So Brian,
hey,
are you still with us, man?
No, I'm on Grindr.
He's checked out. Oh wow!
According to David Moore.
That's right on David Moore. He's
yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you guys. Everything you said.
I hope you just keep doing that for the rest of the episode. AJ, what's next?
You only got 2 games to go, Brian.
I'm saving my battles for the next top 20 list.
2 games to go. Wipeout Omega Collection is $9.99. This is a hell to the yes for me. Amazing game.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Hopefully you have it from. Was this a free Plus game? This was a free Plus game. Hopefully.
2 Tree Guy hands up.
Wow. Two fists up.
2 Tree Guy hands up.
Yeah. No.
Also, real quick, K-Panic, the artist formerly known as GameCat, $2 says Wet Dreams? I'm not even sure what he was referring to.
Wet dreams may come, David. Wet dreams may come.
Wet dreams may come. wet.
I know I just said Tomb Raider was free and you missed your chance, but it doesn't matter. Wipeout Omega Collection is amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Big thumbs up.
Real
sure.
relevant to what you just said, Brian. Did you realize that at the beginning of this chat we had a person named Cum Donator in here?
I mean, that's very noble profession, I think. I think some people are in need, and some people need that, and I'm glad that people are getting what they need.
He commented and he said, I just donated, but he didn't tip any money, which is worrisome to me. I'm not sure what he donated.
Contributed to the bank.
Yeah.
Oh my
Right.
goodness. Okay.
It's not that kind of Patreon, guys.
Everybody,
not that kind
thumbs
of
up. Thumbs up for Wipeout Omega Collection.
2
You
thumbs
gotta
up.
get the hell out of here.
Wipeout is
for
one of the
y'all
best
get in
racing
trouble.
games on PlayStation VR. Highly, highly recommended.
Very good.
Chat
You must have
agrees
it.
as well.
You must have it.
Finally, Gran Turismo Sport, my MF Jam, $12.99 for GT Sport. Absolute hell
That's
to the yes.
incredible. That is such a good price with all the stuff they've added. $12.99. Yes.
Yep.
Up and down. Yes.
Yep, absolutely, 100% agree.
Double thumbs.
Was that the last one?
Yes,
That's the last
that was.
All right.
Thankfully, a sale that's not 30 titles long, or else we'd be here forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we
perfectly
managed to take
timed.
a slow news week and turn
I
it into
don't-
3 hours, just like we always do, guys. Consistency.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I want to thank everybody for hanging out so much, so much. This has been an absolutely crazy week around here. We've really got to just give a shout out to all the moderators who are just like 100% amazing all the time. You know why they're amazing? It's because you don't even know all the shit they're doing behind the scenes, and they're amazing for that. We appreciate and love each and every one of you. Also,
Except Niculo.
he's all right.
Nico's all right.
Yeah,
Hey, except Nick.
Everyone else.
probably the worst phone-in caller we've ever had.
Yeah. Oh, actually, can we get another phone and caller?
No, we didn't.
No.
Drew,
No, it's
Drew,
not.
are you watching?
Not 9
Drew, are
o'clock.
you watching?
Listen, Drew's playing N64
We
games.
don't
I was
have
watching
to
him play
talk.
Turok earlier.
Oh, he was playing Turok.
Yeah, man, I missed that game. Really good stuff. Guys, and
Good
and
memories.
FYI, if you just tuned in, or if you tuned in later into the show, make sure you join our Discord. And if you already joined our Discord, you might have to join our Discord again, because I accidentally pushed the button I shouldn't have, and I kicked half of you out. So really sorry about that. I apologize. Again, no one should let me be in charge of anything ever. I don't know how this happened. I shouldn't be running anything.
So just to clarify real quick, it's if you haven't signed in the past 7 days, right? That's what it is,
But
Brian?
it shouldn't have been that. It was supposed to be
Well, no,
let's
but-
get rid of some of these
but
spam accounts
I'm-
for 30 days, and I accidentally hit.
I'm trying to help people understand if
Yeah.
they need to do that again. So if you haven't signed in the last week and
Yeah.
you're watching, go back, click the link, re-sign up again. If you have signed in the last week, you're totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Probably fine,
You're
yeah.
all good.
But check it out. You should join our Discord anyway. So thank you very much for being patient with me. As again, this is fucking. I don't know how anything works around here, and sometimes it doesn't. And that's a perfect example as to how things don't work. Shout out to Darth Vader with the $2 donation at the last minute, saying "Great stream." So sorry I missed most of it. It's all right, man. Plenty to go back and watch later.
I find your lack of watching disappointing.
Thank you to everybody
Also,
who hung out.
I'm
Thank you.
paid.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Also D-Day. Everyone go play D-Day.
Hello.
If you like first-person shooters, or you just want to hang out with all the cats and hang out and play a good 16v16 game, go play Honor and Duty D-Day with everybody that Elvert's been pushing, and now Geisen is pushing. Geisen just wants more people to kill, because you will get killed by Geisen tonight if you play. So go join us over there. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you to everybody who hung out, participated in the chat. Thank you to everybody who sat back, watched the show, and didn't say a goddamn word, because I was just like one of you before they put me in front of a camera and made me say things. We love you all.
Put yourself in front of a camera.
I know. I don't know what happened there.
You the cat. Let's get out of here.
Let's get the fucking cat in here.
But before we
They
go,
should subscribe to Dave over at
3
DaveStation
hours.
VR. Subscribe to AJ over PSVR Underground. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, AJ. My name is Brian Paul. This is PSVR Gamescast. We're out.
all right, because I want to say goodbye to Kramer3K, Steve IRE, what's up, man? Nick Mulo, you know I love you. GamerChick13, thank you so much for joining. As always, Mark Pringles Leaf, appreciate the conversations. Bob Zarkov, the Underground Dave Station Game Cat, still the #1 name on YouTube. I don't care what anyone says.
Name in the world,
Kill Artist
baby.
won the Dreamweaver. Game Cat, Scallywag, been fun hanging out with you, man. When you going to be Scally Cat? Salvador
Cat, I love it.
Saavedra, what's up, my dude? Oh, he just got the message. Cape Panic, the artistly former known as GameCat. You're up, Asia. What's up, dude? Oh man, that's
You're
an
up,
old school
Asia.
reference
Wow,
right
that's
there,
awesome.
right? I haven't heard that in forever.
Holy shit.
Work Arrow 2, Fish Laser, Genetic Blasphemy, Geisa and Fist Bump to you, Delirium True VR. Tune in for Turok 2 next week. I think I'll stop with.
He only has two. He only has two.
That's hilarious.
And that's
Turok
it?
and Turok 2.
Is that true?
No, I'm just kidding. No,
Okay.
he's got a bunch of games.
I've actually got an instant right here. I don't know why. I've got stuff I'll show you. I've also got.
I love that you showed it to the camera as if anyone could see you.
Oh, well, that's Ninja Gaiden too. Albert
I
says,
don't want to.
Honor and Duty session in the games after Gamescast. Yes, after this, go to our Discord, join the Honor and Duty session, or just turn on Honor and Duty, and you'll see a bunch of people playing. Who else we got? Donatello the Scientist, GameCat, Toss Me a Ninja Slice, Statue of Liberty, Jack's Bogus Journey, Jason Ewing, William McKinney, Jonathan something won the giveaway. Jonathan Azi,
Ozzy, AZI, yeah. Jonathan Ozzy, AZI, Jonathan. Yes.
Zach Lightning Strikes Twice,
Hey.
Georgia T, GameCat,
Just back on
Georgia
camera
T?
before we go, just for a brief.
Georgia T, GameCat. Is that a new GameCat?
No, we actually.
Georgia.
I'm pretty sure we gave Georgia a shout out a couple months ago. I could be wrong.
No.
Wait,
Meow, meow, the
Dave
gamer
wants
cat.
to get back on camera. You ready for this? Is everyone not picking their nose?
Just for a second.
All right, here we go.
Just
Back.
for a second.
Here we are again. Hi.
I just wanted to say real quick, this is my Disney dollar. I got the $1.
Thank you, everybody. We love you all. Have a wonderful night.
Call it. That's a Gamescast.